You're listening to AFN, bringing the latest news around the clock with your host, McKay. Our latest headline: Solid gang war breaks out in Shopping Bay 94. Initial reports suggest several fatalities with dozens more injured. The Atrium. Conspiracy theories, rumours and wild tales of lost Mandalorian treasures spread throughout the station as all eyes turn towards the quality vessel and the so-called Bristol. Protests and violence, members of the AFN while moving the galleries around the clock during the incident when knowledge of the church right headlines. Sonara against these fierce debates, members of the Pack Council argue over the controversial 47 amendment. Another body found in the downland. Gang war or the work of a lone killer. Station security remains tight-lipped in the situation. Mystery still surrounds the quarantine starship Atrium and the so-called Bristol. Officials report suggest that the ship's crew may be accounted for, and a passport quarantine remains in effect.
Welcome to another session of Star Wars. It would help if I actually had the titles fixed up, but there we go. Session 16 in our Star Wars storyline. We're listening to some combined sound from Sirenscape using Absalon Station and a section called The Ring, which had a nice thing of a walking mech and billboards going in the background. Give you a nice feel for getting into Star Wars for tonight.
Is that wrong that we're in a Serenity top?
No.
Good. Because I'm not going to change.
Still a space top, I don't care.
That's true.
I wouldn't even care if it was Star Trek.
Oh, that would be fun.
Hey, could always be Stargate.
Oh, I like Stargate.
And I have actually run a Star Wars game where I have mixed every genre of sci-fi. Boy, did it confuse the players. So, tonight, online, we have David. Who's probably on mute still. As David's currently on... Okay, so David's now no longer on mute, so we'll go back to David. Go, David. You are very quiet.
Do you want me to go?
In which case, we'll move on to Ariadna, who's just arrived at the table.
Hey, I'm Sayane True Striker. Female, human, kind of Mandalorian, slash current ranger, slash current vendetta against certain peoples we're not going to mention. Bye.
Also online today, we have Mark.
Why, hello. I'm playing the intriguing but mysterious Piper. Art Hunter part friend of B1. See, I did it properly this time. Yeah, trying to get herself out of lots of trouble.
Trying very hard, I'm sure. Also online today, we have Kesley.
Hello, I am playing Kayana, the Sector Ranger and person in charge of all of these yahoos.
No, the awesome Maiden of the Vibro Sword.
That I have a super cool sword, which is the best thing ever. I have a super cool bike.
What about
AKA,
bike? Everybody your girlfriend?
everything is going great for me right now, other than having to deal with all of these other guys' drama. I'm literally just trying to do my job, and these guys are like, oh yeah, sorry, I killed a guy. I was like, what do you mean? Okay, so, it's interesting.
You didn't hear that.
And that is what I called a Kremlin that invades the Transformers in the cartoons.
Okay. You learn something new every day.
Yep. So I gave the Kremlin to Optimus, even though it comes with Megatron, and I gave Optimus's creation matrix to Megatron because, well, it's just 20.
Sure. To somebody out there, that makes sense.
So, going back to David, if he's got his mic sorted out.
Therion's standing in for David.
Oh, I can stand in for David if really that's my turn.
No, Therion's already offered.
Okay, then we can go first. Okay.
It hurt his little cat feelings.
Okay, so Therion, what does David do?
What does he do? Oh, okay. Pity the mic probably didn't pick up that meow. Can you say that louder, Therion? Ooh.
So
that
do you
had more
guys
emphasis.
hear the cat in the background?
We did. I think this is the best introduction of David I've ever heard.
Do you realise you're a droid, Therion? Therion, are you a droid? You are? Okay. You gonna shoot everyone? You're thinking about it. He's thinking about whether or not he shoots everyone.
Somehow this is more descriptive and concise all at the same time.
We can sort of hear you in the background there, David.
Right. Can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you now. Apparently we hit a dead spot.
Apparently so.
But the cat did try to answer for you.
I heard the cat.
You did a pretty good job. He kept neutral about the killing of meat sacks.
So can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Fantastic. Am I introducing myself?
You are.
Hello, I'm David. I play B1337, the far superior technological entity known as the brains of the operation. Mechanic, medic, all-round good guy, computery type guy.
And totally not round.
Awfully fond of actually having legs and arms and a head and not being.
I'm sure there are bonuses for being able to roll out. Though they might confuse which franchise we're talking about.
Do you happen to know which session this is?
This is session number 16.
Thank you. Oh, it lines up with the date.
It is amusing how that does that sometimes.
We don't have a Ross Khalid today, do we?
We do not have a Ross, we do not have a Stefan.
Yeah, we knew about Stefan.
That was, I found out today.
Oh, really? I thought he said he wasn't really going to do any games until he got back. That's
gave
what he
him the
said to me.
option.
Yeah.
So, instead of taking it, I just poke him and say, did he want to play tonight?
Yeah, he could change his mind.
And he has the option to change his mind. Okay, so last session we had the fallout from the gala event with meetings with Lieutenant Sandemo, who outlined what criminal cases you would be investigating, which I hope you took plenty of notes for.
No, I actually meant to get your book and write down all the investigation things, but the last 2 weeks has gone really fast with like the multiple cancelled dental appointments for the
I know what it's like.
apparently non-carries I have.
I think I do have notes. I hope I made it as detailed as possible. But he gave us essentially 4 cases.
Yes.
So we did have Mark send to the chat, say Piper, that's all we need to know.
I did note the most important thing. Kayana starts off this game with a message from Captain Dominic Diesel.
Yes! That is what we are starting this game with. I forgot about that completely.
I have the notes down in front of me.
I do not forget such things. I do actually, I'll just write them down.
So yes, we'll be starting off tonight's session with the arrival of Captain Dom Diesel from the clan.
Oh, Diesel.
He's all about family.
The F word?
Yes. And he's waiting downstairs for Kayana.
So I will go ahead and meet him downstairs. That way I could go and report, and then yeah, we'll go from there.
Woo, you hear the background of a bye-bye.
Okay, so coming out, you see him dressed in more like a jumpsuit than the normal armor you've seen most Mandalorians in. It's been a while since they've had any decent armor.
Sure. You know what to say.
And he says, do we have a private place to talk?
I invite him to follow me to my office upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And during the ride up the elevator, I asked if he would prefer to speak privately with me first, or would he like to speak to all members together?
He says, I think I'd rather speak to you first and let you figure out what you want to tell the others.
Okay.
Seeing as you've taken on the authority of this group.
Yeah, I figured this group needed a leader. Other people identified me as such, and I figured it was my duty to take on that role.
He just nods.
Oh.
And
Secret Kayana is like, of course, very neutral and straight face on the outside, but on the inside is just like super happy.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
I got approval, yes.
Yep.
okay, so he gestures you out of the elevator first.
Yep.
You do notice one of the things with most of the Mandalorians, the more higher rank, let the lesser rank go first. So if, well, they're less likely to get shot in the back that way.
Yeah. So I will go ahead and escort him to my office by opening the door, letting myself in, and then allowing him to follow through.
Okay. He pulls out a strange box and puts it on the table and pushes a button. You hear static across the room as he does so. He says, well, that will have shut down any recording or eavesdropping equipment and let us talk privately.
Okay.
He says, so, what do you have to report about what's been happening in the last week or so? Because he's gotten quite a few different messages come through.
Last week? I would say, within the last week, I have been promoted to Sector Ranger, while Thea, Khalid, and Kakia have also joined the Sector Rangers. And then Piper
mentioned you in
and
there.
Did she?
Piper has joined the Bounty Hunters Guild.
He says, oh, don't worry about that, we'll fix that.
Along with her family's joined B137, 337 has also joined the Bounty Hunters Guild as a separate individual. And we have things to report about Vana.
He was sure you were going to get to that, considering reports he's had come in from Vana.
I report back to him that there was an incident of where a bounty was taken out, a private bounty was taken out against one of our party members, and Vana was assigned to said bounty. And instead of discussing with us, she instead pulled a gun on Khalid.
Yep.
And attempted to shoot first. Khalid and Thea disarmed Vana.
I shot first.
And
Stunned.
Essentially, she betrayed our whole squadron, I guess, would be what I would say.
That's rather unfortunate. It seems that she's failed at her primary task. Looks like you'll have to take that one on.
Yeah. And so, due to her actions, we had to detain her, and within that detainment, and through discussion with team members, she was given the option to remove her Mandalorian name for the crime of betrayal against family.
Lucky she wasn't shot.
And thus, she had been put into the, I guess, custody of Kakia. And then during a meeting with Imperial officers, she was taken into custody, and we have not had contact with her since.
Well, at this stage, she's no longer your priority.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take on the role she was supposed to be doing.
Okay.
So, your job is to make sure that Piper doesn't achieve anything or any notoriety and is kept under the radar.
I ask him, how do you, what exactly does that mean? Do we want her to join the Rangers along with the squadron? Do we want her to be
He wants her to have no position of authority whatsoever, and to be considered a nobody as far as the Empire is concerned. And back to that is you need to get her back drinking.
I figured
at least once a month is fine, but she's got to drink at least every 20 days.
At least every 20 days, and understood.
That's very specific.
I question him. I say, sir, previous orders were, should she be caught drinking and failing on the job, that she is to be put to death. Does that order still stand?
The order would had to still come through from the ruling family first, and they're the only ones who can order her to be put to death. So, for your information only, that order will never come. But you need to make sure that she constantly is at rock bottom.
Kayana thinks upon this and says, "Understood, sir," and definitely has hesitancy in her voice.
He says the orders are 15 years old, and no one in the clan wishes to disobey them, including the ruling family.
I say, sir, I don't wish to question orders, but for these orders being 15 years old, is there any way we can discuss these orders with the ruling family?
The ruling family technically no longer exist who gave those orders, and the current people are only following the instructions left behind.
For Kayana's knowledge of the family, does that mean that the ruling family that's no longer in place, is that Piper's family, or is that Vonda's family?
Piper's family.
Okay, so those orders are old orders from Piper's family.
They are, yes.
Okay. She'd say, understood, sir.
Of course, these orders were only opened about 2 years ago.
I say, I understand, sir, but seeing as the family is no longer in charge, would new orders need to be put in place?
Considering the source of these orders, no. The family will follow these orders if they wish to survive.
Understood, sir.
Basically, as far as we're concerned, if you screw up these orders, doesn't matter what the rest of the clan does.
So technically that is not understood, but understood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically.
And Piper's to know none of that.
Ouch.
So far, Varna was doing a great job of making Piper feel like she was at rock bottom, so we didn't have to instruct her with anything. So now you have to do it with intent instead of by accident.
Just delegate that to B1337.
Sir, I understand.
As such, the family has paid out her membership with the Bounty Hunters Guild to have her discharged with failure to achieve the bounty's conditions.
So she'll be stripped of bounty hunter status and returned to no status?
Very much so.
Sir, I found Piper to be fairly helpful and can be a great asset to the family if given a chance.
She can. It's just that you need to keep her off the radar. That was part of the reason you were sent here.
So keep Piper off the radar.
Yes. The Imperials are not to find anything more about her or gain an interest in her whatsoever.
Keep her off the radar so the Imperials don't find her. Understood. With him saying that, Kayana's like, okay, I can work with this. Because I think with our recent insight with this Imperial that had so much interest in us and didn't have any information on Piper, I think she's starting to hint at that perhaps Piper's existence is meant to be kept secret, not to degrade Piper, but for her safety.
You basically get the affirmative from the captain from those thoughts, and
yeah.
He says, "Congratulations, you have earned the insignia of the Eye as protector of the clan."
Can you mute us for just like 30 seconds?
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
And give me a moment as I try to do so.
Dr. Screed.
Give me a sec, below.
As Kayana is given this award, she takes it very humbly, maybe choking back a little bit of a tear, and saying, "Thank you so much for this great honor, sir."
Okay, sorry, back again. Yes, he goes, he knows it might not be what you were intending or expecting, but you have earned a clan insignia, and as a protector of the clans and the clan traditions and potential, he will allow you and the rest of your rangers to also wear the insignia of the Eye, though you will have more importance than them.
I say thank you so much for this honor, sir. It has always been my goal to live out the duty and be a protector of the clan, and so I thank the clan and the elders for this great honor.
He leaves a badge of a eye on the table. He had already pre-prepared that.
I immediately put it on my uniform.
He says, "I'm sure you can have some made for your fellow officers." He says the word officers specifically.
Absolutely, thank you, sir.
Giving you the hint that one of them who isn't an officer.
Yeah.
And he wishes you luck with your current investigations, and he will look forward to seeing more stuff on the news, hopefully without Piper.
Yes, understood, sir.
He picks up his little box and pushes a button, and you hear the different systems around the room kick back in again. And he says, "Good luck. You'll need it."
Thank you, sir. Do you wish to meet with the other party members?
He says, "No, I'm sure you can tell them the good news." It says,
Absolutely.
oh, by the way, he tosses a data chip to you. He says, you can give that to Piper. That is her dishonorable discharge from the Bounty Hunters Guild.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll escort him out and thank him for stopping by and all that stuff.
He says he'll be back again when he's next in the region.
Alright.
But remember, it's all about family, he says as the door's shutting.
All about family, yes. Family.
So, yes, you walk in, and at the moment, the only ones left in the room are B1339, who's come back online, Piper, and yeah, that's actually it. Everyone else is left. So you get to have a private discussion with Piper and his droid.
Yeah, so I go ahead and call Piper in the room, and I say to B1337, if you wish to join in this conversation, I have private information for Piper.
I have private information based on the deaths of many, many people. I can keep a secret.
Understood. So I call Piper and B1337 into my office.
Okay, what's up?
Very good.
I set down the data chip on the table, and I say to Piper, this data chip has your dishonorable discharge from the Bounty Hunters Guild. I am going to give this to you, and you are to deliver it to the Bounty Hunters Guild, and the reason is, you know how Thrawn doesn't know anything about you other than you are a bounty hunter? It has been made very clear to me that he should know nothing about you.
Yeah. So, did I do something wrong?
The thing is, I believe that is above my pay grade, but from what I can understand, it's not that you did anything wrong, it's that you, as being a member of the former ruling family and the rightful ruling family, need to be kept a secret.
Okay. I'll look at B1 for some acknowledgement of this. Does B1 acknowledge any of this at all?
Wow, that sucks. You got fired. Ha! I did.
It is the family's wish that you are no longer a bounty hunter.
I kind of like look sad, and the little tear goes down the right side of my face, going, cool. Well, I better suppose take that to the bounty hunter guild then.
B1337.
Hang on. Yeah, wait, no, wait. You said that she has to remain a secret?
She has to remain a secret, so anything that you do cannot have your name to it.
What about her boyfriend?
Nothing you do can have your name to it. That is my orders.
Does that mean I have to break up?
Why don't we just change her name?
I'm not disagreeing with this plan.
Can you change your name?
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I got it.
You
What
got
we'll
it?
do is we'll find some guy who needs to not be around, or some woman who needs to not be around, and we'll take their identity, and Piper can become them.
Though you do know about the DNA check on people's IDs.
Hey,
It's okay. It'll work. I think.
but they, I need a drink.
You do notice that there's a Mandalorian labeled bottle sitting near the elevator. It's got an old family label on it.
Parker, I can't recommend that you drink. You should not be drinking. You've sobered up. You need to stay sober. It's better for you.
I pour.
That way, we'll be able to get your family free.
I pour a small drink for her, and I say, I understand this is difficult news. Everything in proportion.
Okay. Well, Kleiner said I can, so Kleiner always looks after me. So,
My
sorry,
medical
B1.
advice is that you do not drink.
But one shot won't hurt it, will
It
When was the last time you had one drink?
was
it?
probably about 18 days ago.
Approximately 18.5, yes.
When was the last time you had just one drink?
That's a good question. Different question.
Well, as you know, B1, I've been trying to work on that, and I've been doing very well. I think considering the circumstances and what I just got told, I think one drink should be okay.
My behavioral patterns of you that have been mapped out over at least the last 10 years state that you will not just have one drink.
I just look at Kayana going, shrug, go, Well, if you say I should have it, Kayana, I must follow you, so...
I pour out just like a single little bit of a drink, and I lock the rest of it away in my file cabinet. I say,
B1 mechanically stares directly at you.
yes.
Okay,
Are you going to take the shot?
my hand slowly reaches out to the shot. I look at B1 like he's about to slice my hand off in some way.
No, he's not. He's not implying or feeling very aggressive or judgmental. He's just saying, I recommend you do not take any form of alcohol.
But this is pretty fucked up stuff, B1. I think I need to have at least one shot here.
I think you're wrong.
But and I'll throw it back. So.
Okay, it feels so nice. You just feel so relaxed. Instant calm washes over you.
As you take the shot, Kylo takes like a deep breath in, as if she was going to say something, and then she's like, never mind.
And then you
Hey,
realize
please.
it was actually
Sorry.
the alcohol that your parents used to serve at the table while you were growing up.
The alcohol was in you all along.
So much better.
B1 immediately leaves the room, goes to a closet, grabs a mop, brings it back, and hands it to Kisler's character. I do apologize. Says, here, you can clean it up.
This time,
Well, since I'm in a happier mood now, I should go off and hand my data chip in. Is that correct?
did you want to look at the data chip first?
Here, give it to me.
Give it to you? Oh, okay, B1. You're a trustworthy person.
Do you plug it in?
Yes.
Okay, you plug it in and you see a projection up on the wall from B1's eyes, as you've seen earlier, with a recording from the Bounty Hunters Guild telling you that you're finished with them, you're washed out, you're done. This is your dishonorable discharge. Not even any further pay coming their way. If you step foot in their office again, they're authorized to shoot you. And don't worry, you can keep the jacket.
I don't think you should go back and hand this in.
No, I don't think so.
B1. That's a good point, B1. I'm still a bit sad, and I go, okay.
I tell her, at least you get to keep a jacket.
And at the end, there's a line that says, you're discharged for failing to complete the duties of the job you were assigned. And then you hear a beeping noise in the background from where you from your jacket, and your jacket catches a light.
I take the jacket off and I throw it away in the other corner of the office. So, I'm just going to go back to my room for a second and just head back to my room.
Okay. You make it back into your room. Someone has nicely put a bottle next to the bed for you.
Someone's gonna get shot.
Now I slowly, I put the bottle in the other end of the room.
It's a bottle of water.
But bottle of water, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh.
If I notice it's water, then that's okay. If I think it's, if I do a sniff on top of the pot, does it smell like water or alcohol?
It does smell like water.
Okay. I pour a glass out,
Mm-hmm.
have a drink, and I just lay on the bed looking up the ceiling going, oh, what did I do wrong now? I've been pretty good lately.
Now I look up Mark's stats and see if he actually succumbs.
My addiction is...
Quickly make a phone call.
I can tell you what my addiction is. Oh, yeah.
What is your brawn?
My brawn is 2.
And what is your resilience?
Resilience. Strain. No, resilience. I don't have any resilience, I don't. No, I don't have resilience there. No.
That's okay. That's what we'll be rolling for you today.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so, yeah, your character passes out on the bed.
I'll do that. I'm happy with that.
Whatever was in the water left a strange aftertaste before you passed out.
That didn't taste like water. That didn't taste like, I was going to say it didn't taste like butter, but I didn't get it wrong very early.
Okay. So, back to Kayana and our fabulous droid. What do you do now?
Sorry, what were you asking?
Well, you now are both in the room after seeing Piper leave.
Piper, sorry, I missed the last couple of minutes. What did Piper do?
Piper went into a room and shut the door.
Oh, right. Yeah, cool. B1 will just make well, he doesn't blink, but unblinking stares.
I tell
Very
you
judgmental.
I tell you when this was orders from Piper's family specifically.
I don't care.
I know that you are made by her family to look after her, and I trust you that you will do that as long as you can trust that my orders come directly from her family.
I don't care where your orders come from, they're bad. And if they're bad, then they're bad.
They are orders and I have to follow them.
If you put Piper in any more danger, I will not be loyal to you or any other Mandalorian.
Understood.
I do, however, understand keeping it low profile, but this is not good.
I didn't have a choice in this matter, unfortunately.
What happened to being loyal to the family?
My loyalty is keeping Piper safe. And it seems that Piper is not safe as long as she has a name out there.
I don't disagree with that, but what about Piper's medical safety and medical health?
Her medical health is maintained well by you. I didn't see any problem with her having one shot.
What one shot?
One shot.
I thought you were smart.
I am just following my orders.
I thought you were smart.
If there's anything else, B1337, I believe this is all we have time for today.
Oh, there's plenty more.
I look forward to your insights in the future.
Coward.
I invite him to leave.
Everyone sits there and doesn't hurt.
Alright, well then, I say, well then, I believe I have some reports to gather from Betty. Thank you.
At least Betty looks after Piper.
Betty hasn't even talked to Piper.
Yeah, and she's done less harm to Piper than you have.
Piper showed me a good time. I am simply repaying the favor.
What, by getting an alcoholic who's a reformed alcoholic to drink? What a great payment that you've given back to Piper.
There is something to say about moderation.
You would like a recovering alcoholic to show moderation towards alcohol.
Yes.
I thought you were smart.
There are many different types of recovery.
You're wrong.
Kayana goes ahead and walks out and goes downstairs.
Okay. So downstairs you see Captain Nom dropping a case of Mandalorian bottles for Betty to distribute at appropriate times.
I instruct Betty to put those in a secure storage facility.
Oh, she is keeping it under wraps at this stage.
Yeah.
It's the family special blend.
I see. Alrighty. I'll go ahead and ask her, have there been any other reports or any messages from anybody else come through at this stage?
Yes, we did receive a termination notice from the Bounty Hunters Guild for one Piper.
Yep.
As in their services with the guild have been terminated.
Yep.
And they have are currently in the process of trying to cancel her Bounty Hunter's license.
I say, yep, understood. Thank you, Betty.
Oh, good. Would you like me to stop them?
No. It has already been processed. Or is it already in process, and this is orders from family.
Well, family be damned, she has more power than they do.
I say, there isn't much we can do at this stage.
I can stop them cancelling the Bounty Hunter's license.
I tell her, not needed at this time.
Okay.
Thank you, Betty.
She'll lodge that you're accepting the cancellation of the license, and she'll finish processing the cancellation then.
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to sign here to authorize the cancellation?
Kayana will put out her finger, and then right before signing, just take a pause, take a breath, close her eyes real quick, and then go ahead and sign it.
Okay.
Because she does so regretfully, but it is her order.
Because the license has been cancelled.
I tell her, thank you, Betty.
She just nods and says, if there's anything else you need from her?
Not at this stage.
That's good. She was hoping you didn't have anyone else you wanted canned while you were doing that.
No.
Not even Vana?
Vana is no longer my concern. She is not here, so it is her prerogative if she wishes to continue to be a bounty hunter or not. She is not a Mandalorian. She is not my charge.
Okay, she will make a note of that in the log too. So,
Yep.
this office will take no responsibility for anything that happens from this point onwards.
Yep.
Okay. She makes a log in her notes for that too. She says, "Good to know. Have a good day, ma'am."
Thank you.
Hey, Mark, just a question from me.
Yep.
I lost my bounty hunter license. Do I lose my vehicle spacecraft licenses too, or not?
No, you don't. You still get to keep those. You're now licensed to fly, not to hunt people down.
Okay, I can live with that.
It does mean that you're now just a captain, not the captain.
Yes, Boss Kayana. Yeah.
So, you go back upstairs. While you're doing that, what's B1338 doing?
Just sitting and
Okay. And so, as you come upstairs, you have Thayane come into the room.
Did I hit the cat?
Nope.
Thank God.
Came close though. He's looking at the box.
What am I doing?
You've just walked into the room.
Okay.
Apparently, you've been busy.
Is anyone naked?
Would you like them to be?
Not particularly.
Then that's up to you.
The only exception would be Kayana, but I don't want to disrespect her.
technically B1337 is.
I know you put a jacket on, remember? And paint job.
Yeah, you did.
And then there was a time that you were dressed up by Piper.
Yeah. Anyway. I'm
I remember that.
on that.
Luckily, you were powered down at the time.
Sorry, thank you.
That's okay.
Oh, I just looked at that and I'm like, shit.
All good. So as you walk into the room, you see B1339 staring at the wall.
B1339?
337.
Okay, staring at the wall.
Yeah.
Just, what room am I in?
The conference room.
Is anyone else in the room?
As you're doing that, you see Kayana come out of the lift as well and walk into the conference room.
I greet B1337 and ask them exactly what's so interesting about the wall in that particular area.
As soon as Kana enters the room, B1337. Wait, Kana is.
Kana is Kesley.
Yeah, cool. Right, I actually did remember. Fantastic. As soon as Kana enters the room, B1337 looks judgingly at Kana and says nothing.
Oh
That's
God, I'm
just me
going to
as a
have to
robot
rewatch
killer.
what happened in the last 20 minutes.
You might actually watch one.
I've watched
I'm
them.
teasing you.
You should have a look. You've got some views from me.
I was just teasing you.
Kyan attempts to maintain a neutral face, but is somewhat hurt by having to go through with these orders and also have B1337 upset with her, but like I said, tries to maintain a neutral facade.
I haven't given you an easy job. I greet Kayana, ask her how'd the meeting go with Captain Family.
You do notice that she has her own insignia on now.
Oh.
I share with Thea that the family has given me the honor of the insignia of the Eye of the Protector, whatever it's called.
That they called it the Eye of the Protector.
Eye of the Protector.
Google that.
And also says that our other officers have earned this honor as well as my charges.
Does that mean me?
That I believe that means you.
I make a little happy dance.
Yep. So as far as I can say, with us becoming Rangers, the family is very pleased with how we have carried out our orders.
I am super pleased to hear that. I am not like Kayana at all. I don't hide my joy at the approval of my family at all.
But anyone pipes up. Pipes up. Yeah, but they had to fire Piper from the Assassin's Guild, the Bounty Hunters Guild.
And that's what I say to Thea. Unfortunately, that is the bad news of Captain Dom coming by, is that Piper has to be dishonorably discharged from the Bounty Hunters Guild.
Has been.
Yeah, there we go.
Does the droid play the message?
Yep.
Okay, so you get to see this big hologram of someone pointing out, saying, "You have been dishonorably discharged and kicked out from the." And then, this whole thing scrolls through about how Piper's been kicked out of the Bounty Hunters Guild for failing to hold up their end of their contract for for their last bounty.
I ask where Piper is right now and how's she doing.
I
And
say
all my
that
joy has been dissipated, party poopers.
Piper has returned
Somebody
to
made her drink. Somebody made her drink. What happened to family being important?
Who made her drink? I thought she'd given up.
I didn't make her drink. I offered her a drink because this is terrible news to have to go through.
That is a lie. Kind of goaded her into it.
I didn't goad her into anything. You and I both know we can't force Piper into anything.
I don't think
Bye.
you can force Piper into anything. I have great respect for Piper. But I'm kind of looking a little bit confused at Kayana as if to say, that doesn't sound good, but you're my leader, so I'm going to trust you?
I convey to Thea that the orders that came through from Captain Dom were orders that were put in place by Piper's family. And going through the orders, my understanding is that we are to keep Piper's name out of the eye of the Imperials. And that with Thrawn not knowing who Piper is, it is meant to stay that way.
Okay.
And so as a result, you turn a recovering alcoholic into an actual alcoholic.
You chucked her off the wagon. Okay, I kind of get that, but I kind of don't. And again, only because Kayana is the leader of our little group, I kind of take it, but I'm kind of like, I'm not so sure about this, but I'm going to go with the flow for now.
That's okay.
I say to Thea, you have been my greatest confidant throughout this whole process, and so I can share with you, I am not happy about these orders.
I don't imagine you would be. I kind of presumed that, actually.
They are orders, and I have to do what orders say.
Now, in the
I'm
background,
gathering because it came from higher up. You had no choice.
Exactly.
in the background, you hear the.
Yeah.
And if anyone knows
From the floor
I'm
below.
Just a quick question. Did you at least give us something decent to drink?
I gave her.
There is no decent. You have betrayed her, and you have made her relapse into one of the greatest debilitating illnesses that she's ever experienced in her entire life.
It was her family's alcohol recipe specifically, and I only gave her one shot and locked the rest away.
Great, you gave her the most enticing drink that she could ever have had. Wow, that's not going to have any repercussions whatsoever.
I kind of understand where the droid's coming from, but I also understand that this is coming from higher above. There's not a lot we can do.
There's plenty you could do. You could not betray Piper.
I would like to keep her alive first, and
By
after
betraying
that,
her. You
figure this
betrayed
out.
Piper.
I didn't
Are
betray her.
you suggesting I have betrayed Piper by giving her a drink? The one
Yes.
thing that has been known to help her calm down in stressful situations?
We both know that you are not telling the truth.
I don't know what you're talking about. Kayana is lying, but Kayana says, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's very easy for the droid to see if the droid believes you or not, so it is a deception cunning. So,
Wait,
Can I help her? 'Cause-
so there is 2 dice for Kayana, whereas the droid himself has, as I bring it up,
He wanted everything other than intelligence monster.
that's okay. When I look up perception, is so the droid has a yellow.
That's funny.
Okay, so he has a yellow and a green to detect what's actually going on.
I can't find my papers, so if I did want to help her, I can't tell you how I can help her.
There are all
Oh.
papers there.
Yep.
Sorry. Okay, so
I've got like 3 presents.
apparently the droid does see through the. Oh no, it doesn't see through.
Oh!
You managed to actually fool the droid with your fancy words.
Wow.
I like your words, funny man.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
So the droid ended up with one failure and one threat, so the droid really did like your words.
So,
Wow.
So apparently you convinced him that she does need to drink a little bit now and again.
yeah, I basically convey, I figured this is just a simple shot in moderation just to help her with this stressful time.
What I'm hoping is that the droid does not take this to extremes now.
Pulls out gun.
No, the droid might believe, but the
Just
droid doesn't have
doesn't.
to agree.
Yeah, exactly.
Does the droid wish to...
You might have. So I'm just going to manipulate this in a way that actually makes sense. I understand that you may have Piper's best interest at heart, but I do not believe that that is the most logical action. Unfortunately, you are the group leader, and as such, I will defer to you.
I thank B1337, and I thank him for continuing to look out for Piper's health and well-being, and I will always try my best to consult you in regards to Piper.
I kind of have the same attitude as B1337, but my disappointment is with the people who gave you the order, not you.
Yeah. So
So it's
So,
with
yeah.
Captain Dom and his F word. He can F word off.
So does B1337 check on his friend?
I mean, friend is really a word.
Charge.
That'll do.
Okay. Entering the room, you see that Piper appears to be passed out and snoring on the bed.
Hey, dumbass, wake up!
Would you like to do a medicine check on her?
You're damn right. I will also use a medical scanner.
Okay, I will add advantage dice for that. You get lots of dice. So if you manage to miss this one up, that would be very funny.
Oh, that'd be
And
hilarious.
it will be 2 purple dice plus a red to see if you can find something special. Okay, so. First check over Piper. She's alive.
Are you friggin' serious?
2 advantages.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Apparently, there was a glitch in the system. Would you like to try again?
Yes. So I'm just gonna go on mute for 2 seconds. There's obviously that noise going on in the background.
All good.
I'll bump in when I need to respond.
Okay, so you managed to get through this time with 6 successes, well, 5 successes, and a threat. As you're checking over Piper, Piper's in the best health she's been in for probably the entire time you've been in Elrood. Whatever was in the alcohol she drank seemed to have fixed up most of the issues with her scans, and now she's coming across as the correct DNA that you suspect that she was supposed to have. Whereas,
Confused droid noises.
and basically she seems to be peacefully sleeping, and you get a detection of something has activated a sedative inside her to basically cleanse out toxins.
Yeah,
All confused droid noises.
put my sleep.
And you also can detect that the mechanical liver inside her is actually running at 100% efficiency right now. It's never been doing that as any time you've scanned her.
B1 walks out and closes the door.
So what does B1 tell anyone?
Nothing. He keeps it to himself for now.
I'll ask if she's okay.
She is alive.
I didn't ask if she was alive. I was asking if she's okay.
Sorry, what was that?
The question was, is she okay? Not is she alive? Was repeated by Diana.
Sorry, I was
Right.
busy stuffing my face with watermelon.
No, it's okay. I'm having dramas with these headphones. B1 doesn't answer and just walks away.
Considering that this is not the most unusual behaviour from B1, I shrug and turn back to Kayana and say, so where to from here?
I say from here our orders are to continue with our sector ranger duties.
Okay.
So I suppose what did we agree to last time? We agreed that
You had many plans to happen.
we did.
We
and I
need to
forgot all
try.
of them.
Okay, so we discussed cases. One, we decided to try and get solid evidence on Leaf on the Wind, Winds travel reports, because that's got one of the people we had to track down.
Yes.
We need to access the flight data to get the Ilthorian pilot's name so he can be a witness to the Celestians escaping. 2, I've just put El Capitano bombing, so, I didn't give myself much to go by then. 3 was Thrawn reassigned it to us, taking it off Sandemo, and specifically asks for Piper to lead the investigation into the El Capitano bombing?
No, that was into the death of the second aide.
Oh, right, into the death of the second aide. Sorry, I've
Which you've
obviously
spent some
written
time
half
doing.
a sentence and not finished.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the meeting, Piper exits while the rest of our team discuss priorities and methods.
And you also missed the book.
Yes, I did miss the book. I had trouble keeping up with how fast everything goes and how much my hand gives me electric shocks.
I understand.
Yeah.
So that was 3 was the death of the governor's second assistant?
Second aide, yes. And while you're discussing that, there is a message from Betty downstairs coming through.
All right. Pass that through, I guess.
Okay, Betty says, I'm sorry to disturb you, Sector Ranger, but the governor is on the line for you.
I say send it through.
Okay, sending it to your office.
Okay, I go to my office with the door open
Okay,
to take the call.
you see a picture of the governor looking at you and says, Hi, Sector Ranger Kayano. How are you doing today?
I say very well, sir.
Ready
how
for an
may I be of
adventure?
assistance? I suppose so.
Okay, have your squad ready and down at the starport in an hour, and we're going to go on a trip.
Understood, sir. We will arrive shortly.
Can I hear?
Yeah. And then he hangs up.
Can I ask Kana whether she knows what kind of trip this is? Like, what sort of gear we need to bring?
He's
Which he
dead.
obviously doesn't know because he's hung up.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah.
I say, just bring what you think you need. It seems that this is official, from the governor, and we'll probably be taking a starship.
Well, I'm kind of already ready. I just have to grab my weapons.
Most
well-
Mandalorians are just a few seconds away from combat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we would
Pretty much, I was
most
ready
likely
at 6 a.m.
Our default is we will grab weapons.
Hmm.
So I say.
To be honest, I've got most of my weapons on me except my ionization blaster.
So I tell everybody, including people who aren't here, I tell all the other characters, suit up, we roll out, in however much time it takes to get to the thing, so that we are at least 5 minutes early.
Suit up and roll out?
Piper cannot move. Piper is unconscious and cannot move.
I'd say do what you can to wake her up if you can. Nicely, gently.
Right.
Is that
That's some
possible?
great loyalty you're showing there, friend.
She is, I still consider her a consultant to the Sector Rangers at this time. Also, there is a starship. We might need a captain.
Exactly.
I'll
Am I
see.
the only one
B1
licensed
will
to
go
fly
back
though?
into Piper's
What was
room.
Am I the only one licensed to fly though?
But also Piper is as well.
Oh, Piper is as
So
well.
Piper
Awesome.
got
Yeah,
them added.
She was the natural pilot, and then you were the trained pilot.
So between the two of you, you should be able to fly anything.
Oh, I know she's
Yeah.
better than
So
me.
B1 goes back into Piper's room.
Yep.
And finds some water.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bottle nearby.
This is going on your head, I'm sure of it.
Water. Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, it's B1. He doesn't care. That'll do. He grabs that bottle and pours it over Piper's head.
Okay, Piper wakes up spluttering. Yes, it really was water. It wasn't the water that knocked you out.
Get up. We have work. Get up. We have work to do.
You see Piper's eyes are the clearest they've been the whole time you've known her.
Wow. That was a good snooze.
Yeah.
Piper feels like she feels like she slept for 8 hours.
We're going to work?
Yes, you need to get ready. We've got some stuff to do. We might be going off planet. I don't know. Just get ready to go.
Just gonna get an
Okay.
energy drink.
Okay. I pick up my.
You keep talking. Why?
Okay, I'll pick up my satchel
Yep.
and I take it with me. Okay?
What about the book?
The book's in the satchel.
Okay.
So,
I'm just gonna have to go offline for a little while.
All good.
At all points, B1 does his best to keep Piper as engaged as possible.
Okay, so
And by
B1.
engaged, I mean distracted from the temptation of alcohol.
I understand. So Piper feels fantastic for the first time in years. So you feel perky. You feel like you're on top of the world.
yeah, let's keep going. I'm ready to drive this thing. Let's go. Whoa, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not
So
shaking it
good.
up too much.
And you pop out and you see Kayana with this bouncing in your step that they've not seen.
Yeah, I fist pump Diana on the way past. Let's get going, Diana. I'm ready to go.
I give a nice smile and nod and say, "Great to see you in a happy mood, Piper."
I'm still waiting for my fist pump, by the way. Just say my hands sitting out there waiting for the fist pump.
I give a slow, not quite enthusiastic fist bump.
At which point, Piper notices the insignia of the eye on Kayana's uniform, which she recognizes as one of the clan protectors.
Ah, okay. So, will I get sacked? Do you go up a level? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's get going. Don't worry about it later.
Do I get a fist bump?
Oh, you get a fist pump, you get a hug. And then I'll
Oh,
get going.
awesome. You know, we could do a chest bump, but, you know, it's not very ladylike.
Well, yeah, that's not a very ladylike thing to do. It's like, why would you think that? It
I'm
just doesn't
wearing
make sense.
armor, I don't care.
Since
Well, I
when
do.
have you guys been ladylike?
Exactly!
Wow. This is why you're a sector ranger, isn't it?
So-
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So up on the wall is this poster from the Imperial saying, "I want you," of Piper in a dress.
Oh. Is this the one she did with, like, Fabio and stuff?
And this is the one he did with the red-haired flight officer.
Oh,
Okay,
I've got
okay.
her name in here somewhere.
And I whispered to myself on the way past, going, oh, my butt looks good in that. Guess what?
Even if you don't want to be an Imperial poster girl, at least you look good doing it.
I got my leather pants on right now, just so you know.
You look better now than you did in the picture.
That's really good, but I keep my secret crush for Kayana and her vibro sword.
I thought it was just the vibro sword.
Pretty much. But there's respect there. She's a good
There's
leader.
the power that comes with it.
Yeah, exactly.
The vibro sword's coming with. It's happening.
Well, it is part of your uniform.
Exactly.
So you see the the four rangers all suiting up as Piper has her leather pants.
Yeah, because I can't wear a gun right now, can I?
Not in the city limits.
No, I'm not a bounty hunter anymore, so I can't really have a gun. So I've left
No,
that back in
and with those leather pants, there's nowhere you're hiding it.
There's no way to put it, so...
Unless you've got the old back pocket going.
B1 offers to carry your pistol for you.
I could give it to B1, but all I have is my satchel and my leather pants. So,
Okay.
What about
you know
your
what's in the satchel.
top?
That got destroyed.
Well, they got burnt while you're away.
Is she like naked?
No, she's got something else on instead.
Okay.
She got I've got
I'm
just
like, we should really cover her up before we go out.
I'm sure she's got a "The Emperor Loves You" t-shirt.
Probably.
No, I don't.
Come
know,
on, you've
no,
got
no.
a decent sense of humour.
I don't
Aren't
think
you
I
a
have that
cynic
much.
by now?
No, I wouldn't have that much because that's grab attention to me, so I wouldn't wear something like that. But
Oh, yeah.
I'm plain black top, go with my little pants.
Okay. But it sparkles because all these things seem to have something different.
Okay, sparkles, man. Just keep going.
I envy your sparkles.
Okay, so you all end up in the vehicle heading out to the airport with Kayana on her nice fancy speeder bike out front, enjoying going through the traffic, making everyone get out of your way.
Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, it's fun.
So very often you get to do that. And you pull up to the spaceport to find a luxury yacht at your destination.
So, like, space yacht?
Yeah, space yacht. A starship that is probably the equivalent of a penthouse with extras.
Yeah, I go ahead and park the bike in a secure location, wait for everybody else to park, and head towards whoever looks like an official to sign in.
Well, they say you can park on the ship itself. There's plenty of room.
I go ahead and do that.
You park next to a stretch limo hover vehicle, as well as what appear to be a couple of more military bikes for escort. So yours is painted up showing your rank. These are just plain military ones with no decals or highlights.
Very cool.
And then there's enough room for your big wheeled vehicle to come in the back.
Perfect.
And
So I wait for them to park and get out, and I guess I'll lead us through the hallways.
Yep, you go first, boss.
Yeah, wherever we're directed to go.
Okay, they direct you to the lift to go up to the guest lounge. You easily fit into the lift. It's bigger than your apartment's lift. Do you think you could probably fit your speeder bike in the lift quite easily?
Very fancy.
It's all pretty fancy.
And you notice that the lift goes up another 6 levels and apparently also goes all the way to the ground. So if you ever land on a planet, you can use this lift to get out.
That's pretty cool. Hey, also, would I know from my dates with my boyfriend, did he ever take me on any of this kind of stuff?
He wouldn't have taken you on something like this. This would be way above what he could afford.
interesting. I just think to myself how, Captain Fabio could take me out or something like this would be cool, like a weekend away or something. Yeah, so, yeah, anyway. Go on,
Everywhere you see is made in Elrood has got little writing everywhere. So no, this ship was locally built. And it doesn't look new. It looks like something that's been in the process of upgrades over more than 100 years. It's apparently the sector governor's personal ship, or whoever's in office.
So we're on Air Force One right now.
Very much so. And
Alright.
as you come out on the guest level, you find what appears to be a lounge with gaming area, pool, spa, little restaurant, and lots of cabins.
I just look at Kiana going, if you go to a big meeting with a big boss, we can hang back here if you really want us to.
I want to go in.
I believe he called for all of the sector rangers, so
Yeah.
but
back here.
Piper's
I
not a
might
sector
leave
ranger.
you and
She's a
1337.
she's a consultant.
She is a
Yeah, but-
consultant, and so you are more than welcome to join us, but you are also more than welcome to hang back with B1337, because I trust you more with a friend. That way we can keep tabs on where everybody is at all times.
Does she emphasise the word trust me too? No, just sure.
Quite possibly.
Whoa, hang on. What have I've got street lights, don't I?
Let's find
Thank
out.
you, do.
I do. While I wanted to ask, I just take notice of that and I go, okay, we'll hit back here and I'll ask B1, sorry, David is not there. B1, I'll say we'll play some pool or something like that. We'll play with it. Well, wait.
So,
when I said pool, I mean lap
starter.
pool, not actual pool table, as in swimming pool.
Is there any kind of like the game in Millennium Falcon? Is there anything like that around that we can just me and the droid can play?
Well, there are quite a few different gaming tables set up here, for recreational use.
Yeah, look, I don't want any, not any betting, just purely just to keep us busy while we're waiting for the others.
Yes, you seem to sit down and relax.
Yeah, I'll sit back and relax and just let the top people in the group take over this next week.
Okay, so you see flashing up on one of the different information panels saying that the ship will be departing shortly for Kidron.
Kidron.
We're
Keep
going on a school trip.
That's piloting. I don't think I've got piloting. Hang on. Would I know where Kidron is, Martin?
Kidron is the next planet in the jump. So if you see where the mouse is on the screen, it is that next one there.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
So it's the next stop on the hyperspace jump.
No, that's right. I'll sit back and just relax with B1 and just just relax. So.
What do we know about the planet of Kidron?
So not much. Just that it's the place you go to disappear. They had considered putting the Mandalorian operations on that planet, except for the fact that, that they actually wanted to work with the Klinites because they are also warrior people. And from what they know, most of the people in Kidron don't quite have the same temperament. And it's mainly got a scent-based species as the native species, known as the Orphites. So I think Bloodhound as a humanoid.
Alright, cool.
They're also major exports is meat, plants, and scent-based technology.
What kind of scent-based technology?
So you know how the equivalent of scratch and sniff sort of stuff, they can make whole experiences based on scent.
So nothing about like finding people by scent, like that might help you.
They do that themselves.
Yeah, but say you're a ranger / Mandalorian bounty hunter type person who wants to get better at tracking people down. Would there be anything that she could use?
They might be able to rig up stuff for you to do that.
Okay, it's good to know.
So they have things for protecting people with scent and stuff.
They do now.
Because one of their primary predators is someone who basically creates a toxic gas cloud.
Wow. Okay. This is really good. We might need to get some of that for Piper.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he says you should be there in the next few days. So you will have a couple of days flying.
Does that count as downtime?
And during that time you will, well actually, with this ship it'll probably be 6 hours actually.
Oh, okay.
I'll work on the actual times later. Because of the star charts, unless you've got the hyperspace route, it takes a lot longer. As they've got the actual route, it's 3 hours.
3 hours or 3 days?
3 hours. It can take 3 days if you don't know the route.
Ah, I see. Okay.
And because the route's not a straight line, that's why it takes longer. But it could take longer if you don't know. So yes, Kayana has a invite to come up and see the governor after you've checked in.
Is the invite specifically Kayana, or is it sector rangers?
You're not sure.
I will go ahead and bring the other rangers with me. And if there's a guard at the door, I'll ask if the governor wishes just to see me on the team.
Okay, so you take the elevator up to the second top floor. So the top floor appears to be operations. So the bridge of the ship.
Yep.
You get out on the second one. It seems to be a penthouse for the governor's use. You are greeted by an aide who's quite happy to see you. And says, how may he assist you?
I say I've been told to meet the governor here, but it was unclear if he wishes just to see me or if he wishes to see me and my ranger team.
I'm sure he'll be happy with your team. You made such a splash on the news recently that he was glad to have this opportunity to have you travel with him while he visited another planet.
Absolutely. So I go ahead and kind of nod to my team and nod to him, saying, "Okay, take me to see him."
He points to an office nearby that it all looks more expensive than most things you've seen.
Yep.
Just that high tech, lots of money spent, overkill for a door.
Cool. I go ahead and let one of the other rangers go through first.
Sure.
Okay, so as you walk up to the door just opens for you.
Okay.
But you do feel yourself being scanned.
Fun.
And I guess I don't know if like our team specifically has planned this, but I assume Mandalorian custom is that lower ranks walk in first, move to the side, and let the leader walk through. But again, I don't know how well our team has rehearsed this.
I walk through, stand to one side, and hope that we see Khalid next, probably, and
And then-
Kaikio also
Kakio.
does the same thing.
Yep.
And then you walk in and you see up on the walls of the governor's office various heads of beasts of the region.
Interesting.
Okay.
Do I recognise any of them?
You recognise some of them, especially from the Koyans,
Yeah.
who talk about hunting and tracking down various beasts,
Yep.
because for them it's a challenge.
Yeah, and with my background, I'd be familiar with a lot of animals, if not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or at least with how to hunt and track them down.
Yeah, I don't have like a yeah.
So, I've thought it would be nice to get to know you on a trip. Didn't have time to meet you for your celebration. Apparently, it was scheduled while I had another appointment that I couldn't get out of.
Yeah, we are grateful for this opportunity to join you on this excursion.
Yes, I thought I'd go on a bit of a safari, and I heard, you Mandalorians types are good with hunting things, aren't you?
That is one of our better pastimes, I would say. We especially have one of our skilled animal hunter keepers, and I point towards Thea.
I just bow a little bit.
So yeah, see, he heard you had someone on your team who was good with animals.
Yep.
So
And I say it's an honor to join you on this quest and get to know you a little better, as we have come to know your father in this time.
as well, I thought I would take the time to go and hunt one of the creatures of this world. It's a manta ray-like flying creature known as the Jammer.
Okay.
Pump up the jammer?
I'm sure we can do that. Well, if that's what you suggest we do.
We'll see after we catch it.
As well, that'll be your job. He'll be following along to watch such wonderful hunters in their natural environment. He says.
So, as a player, let me get this right. We've been brought on so that we can hunt for the governor?
Yep.
Okay, no problems. I tell him it will be an honor and I will do my best.
Yeah, as a
And
player,
hope the dice
basic
like me.
rich person safari nonsense.
Yeah.
He says, he's sure that that it's just rumors that they grow to over 3 meters long.
Privately, like, as not said out loud, I'm like, fuck, he's wasting our time. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. Yeah, but, I keep that to myself.
And he thought it was a great suggestion that you had that you come along and do this.
I'm not really that daunted because I've had experience with catching animals. But I'm a little bit daunted by the fact that I don't know quite how much experience the rest of my clan have, and I may need their help with a 3-meter animal.
And from what you remember of studying animals in the region, these ones can technically kill with their gas clouds.
Yay!
Because they hunt. They are the apex predator of the planet.
I asked the governor whether or not there is any kind of masks that we could use, like air tank type.
Do your helmets come with?
Do our helmets come with it? I say no, unfortunately they do not. And if you'd like us to catch some of these beasts without, accidentally losing some of us, it's probably best that we do have those kind of helmets.
Well, I'm sure the aide will be able to sort out something for you. He's
He's
very good at this sort of thing.
Is the aide there?
No.
Okay. I'm like, I will check with them. Can I look to see if I can go and check with this aide, because I pretty much don't want my family to die. So I want to get on this part fast. Am I able to... I ask for permission to go and do that. From Kyle.
For me?
And yeah, from you and, the governor. I'm like, you know, could I please go follow that up so that we have a higher chance of getting you.
He says, sure, you can all head off. That was all I wanted to let you know about. He says, nice working with you. He again, love the suggestion. And lets you walk out.
Okay. I look for the aide.
Mm-hmm. You see him busy with paperwork at a desk nearby.
I walk over and see whether or not...
How may I help you, Ranger?
I ask about the helmets and if they've got any helmets with like a closed circuit breathing, oxygen type deals.
We can requisition some stormtrooper helmets, but he doesn't really think they work that well.
Do they work that well? Would I know that?
They're not as good as Mandalorian helmets, that's for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have any of those handy right now.
Well, he's got two stormtroopers on detail as guards for the ship, and he can, request their helmets.
If that's the best I'm going to get, yes, please.
Okay, he'll put that request in now.
Thank you. Can you let me know as soon as they come? I'm gathering this will come down to at least 2 of us getting close and the rest of us saying distant and upwind. I tell my clan as much as I know about this animal.
It's a flying monstrosity that likes to blind, choke, and then consume its targets.
I try not to use the word monstrosity because I don't want to panic my family, but I want them to know that it's not going to be an easy run.
I asked her, previously with your family, have you had any experience with predators such as this?
Have I?
Our family has dealt with various things over the years, so...
Not me personally?
Not you personally.
Yeah, I say not me personally, but, I've read on them and read on the theory of them, but because they're not native to where I was, I never had a chance to actually get one because I wasn't allowed to go off-world by then. I was too young.
I say I'm going to trust that your family has taught you well, and hopefully we can show the governor that we have some skills.
Yep. I'm gonna pray to whatever gods that we pray to, if we pray to any of them, that at least the rest of my family doesn't die. I kind of don't care if I die or not, as long as I die trying hard for the family.
Okay.
Is there a karaoke machine in this place, Mark, or not?
Sure.
Okay. You hear Piper singing in the background, with trying to get B1 and you're going, trying to go, and a droid's not a droid, in the background, so.
And is B1 responding at all?
No.
Not at all?
No, but B1 doesn't like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It's basically just staring.
Okay, alright, so we don't hear anything from B1, we just hear Piper?
You just hear Piper singing along.
Okay. Have we been given any indication? We got like 3 hours to prepare, don't we?
You do.
Do I have access to any kind of information station?
You do have access to multiple stations. Sorry, just trying to juggle books at the moment.
Yeah, I can see. Not enough hands. Are you gonna... Yep. Can I go to one and do some research?
Yes, you can. While you're doing that, a pair of stormtroopers come out of the elevator.
Yep.
And said, I believe some helmets have been requisitioned.
I say yes, I was looking for some sort of closed circuit, sort of oxygen providing helmets.
Okay.
Something that doesn't draw air from outside, because that's not going to be very helpful.
Martin, to remember, did I have a helmet that was made in a Mandalorian style given to me that wasn't Mandalorian armor? Does it have the closed air,
the breathing
respirator
apparatus
in it?
Yeah.
Not yet, but it can have it put in.
Yeah, you won't be getting close to them because you're our leader. So you're the least sacrificable, so...
But I'm also kind of the strongest, so there's that.
Yeah, there is that, actually.
But we're going to a planet that specializes in olfactory gadgets.
Yeah.
So maybe it can be installed in the helmet before the hunt, depending on when the governor wants to do said hunt.
That's actually a good idea. Can I ask the aide about that?
Currently no, because he's upstairs.
Okay.
And you've just gone downstairs.
Is there anyone I can ask about that? Like, can I come through
Well,
to the
currently
aide?
you've got the stormtrooper in front of you.
Oh, okay.
You said you don't need the helmets?
No. Well, first of all, are their helmets, do they have, like, a respirator breathing type thing that I'm describing? I don't know.
They have limited air supply, yes.
How much air supply does it have?
About half an hour.
Okay. That's better than nothing. I ask if we can borrow their helmets, and I promise to take as good a care of them as I can.
Okay, they pull out a data pad and they say they need authorization from the sector ranger.
And I look to Kayana and I hope that she gives her signature.
I read through the terms and conditions carefully, and then I will sign.
This is the reason I love you.
Okay, reading through the terms and conditions is basically saying that if you lose the helmet, you'll be responsible for replacing it.
Yeah, I figured that.
And any damage and all that sort of stuff done is going to come out of your pay.
Yeah, I figured that too.
Yeah, understood. I'll go ahead and sign it.
I'll let Kayana know that, you know, if something does happen, I will either chip in or pay it off myself.
And that these two troopers are BT-357 and BT-279. And when BT-279 takes off his helmet...
BT-397?
357.
Lucky I asked. 357?
Yep, and BT-279.
279. Okay, cool.
When 279 takes off his helmet, you do recognize him.
Okay, who do I recognise him as?
He was your first bounty.
Hi.
He doesn't seem to recognize you.
That's fine. I don't have a problem if he does not recognise me. I thank them.
And then both of them walk out after they leave their helmets.
So in my hunting party, I've got 2 people protected by breath. I've got an IG that doesn't need to breathe.
A B1.
B1337, sorry. Sorry, my brain's a
good.
bit scattered. And then we've got 2 other air-breathing people that we would need to protect in some way.
And most likely the governor as well.
Oh, and the governor. Alright, can I get on comms and ask see if I can get in contact with the aide from where I am, and...
The aide's face comes up on your screen. How may I help you, Ranger Sir?
I mentioned Kayana's brilliant idea about whether or not respirator type things can be made, and I stress to the aide that the governor's life depends on a really good one.
Well, why don't you just use the respirator masks?
What respirator masks?
It points out the gas masks that are the emergency masks for the ship. This is they should be found in the emergency kit listed under the medical station on your floor.
That's awesome. I go find those.
There's basically a pack of 10 there.
Okay. How much airtime do they have?
Each one has about an hour's capsule, and you see that there are about 50 spare capsules.
I've learnt from this experience I am not going to go the long way and ask for stormtroopers next time. I suggest to Kayana, even though to confuse them and make us look a little bit like amateurs, we should give the stormtroopers helmets back while we can, because they've only got a half-hour oxygen time, and these emergency masks, which I didn't know about because I haven't space travelled very much, have an hour of air in them and will be more useful, and will carry no, what's the word? Potential for costing us money. I'll
handle this. So I'll called for the stormtroopers to return. They say,
Thanks for letting us study them.
I say thank you for for us borrowing your helmets. We no longer need to borrow them, and so I hope to return these to you as soon as possible.
Okay, he pulls out another pen. Did you need to sign here?
Yeah, I was going to say, make sure you sign off, giving the Mac.
Yeah, so I'll sign it off, giving it back to them.
And they seem to happily put their helmets back on, looking more relaxed as they walk out with their helmets on.
I get that. So I make sure each member of my team has one of these, and I keep a spare for the governor, and a spare just in case something happens and someone else needs it, because we might roll really badly and someone's mask might come off and I might need to chuck another one back on. Alrighty.
Okay.
I continue researching the animals.
So,
I would suggest to Thea that each of us
give Martin ideas
an
like that.
extra. Everybody gets an extra capsule.
Yeah, as many
carry.
spares as we've got, I do.
Yeah.
Let's see, there's, is Piper coming with us?
Yes, she is
Okay.
the consultant and thus is coming with us on this expedition.
Sorry, David, I'm using karaoke downstairs while the other two are upstairs.
So
they've joined you while you're singing karaoke.
please
And watch the droid stare.
bear with me, my brain's scattered. Piper, Cadkia, Khalid, Kyanna, and me.
Yep.
That's it, that's all the humans.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the governor.
And whoever the governor brings.
Okay. So I give out extras to everyone except myself, because there's not enough. And then I let them know that if the governor brings extra people, they may have to volunteer their extra.
That you expect there'd be more on different levels of the ship.
Yeah. Oh, can I go find those?
Mm-hmm.
Can I go find those and make sure everyone has two and that I've got some to hand out to whoever needs? I bother the 8 again at risk of disturbing them, but I do so with many apologies for disturbing them.
He goes, hi Ranger, how may I help you again?
I just wanted to see whether or not the governor is planning to bring any other people aside from our ranger group on the hunt with
How
them.
many do you recommend he should bring?
0.
So not even himself?
He should bring himself. Because, he wants to enjoy this, but there would be less risk the less people who are coming.
I'm sure you can guarantee his safety.
Yes, I will be doing my best to guarantee his safety. But let's put it this way, I'm pretty sure you'd prefer to stay on the ship.
I'm happy with that. I'm not one for hunting.
Yeah. So, it's just going to be the governor then.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll tell him you'll handle all his transportation and food needs.
Yay. I turned to Kyanna after the call's finished, and I'm like, I'm researching the animals. I'm going to hand over the transportation and food needs to you.
Why can't the aide come along?
Well, you could make that decision. You are the ranger leader.
I guess, wait, so
I didn't feel authorized to do that mid-call, but we could say we had to think about it and we need him to come.
Yeah. I say, may I ask your name? I don't believe I got your name.
Oh, I don't need a name. I'm just the aide for the governor. Names are just too important for my role.
You're too important to us.
I'm the only governor's aide, so everyone knows who I am.
I say even an aide or somebody in position does need to be called upon, and as part of even my background, we tend to use code names. Is there a code name or a nickname that I can give to you that you would be acceptable for you?
I'm sure I've got the perfect name that you can call me. You can call me Bruce.
Bruce? Alright. Alright, well, Bruce. I say, Bruce, I do believe that the governor is in great need of you to come along for this trip. If you feel comfortable in doing so, we will make sure that we have adequate equipment for you to keep yourself safe so you can provide for the governor.
Oh, I normally don't provide for the governor. He has his staff that does that for him. I advise them on what he wants them to do.
Okay. So, do you believe that you will be needed to assist the governor during this trip?
Normally, I would just tell which staff needs to go along with him to which event. So, what sort of things do you think he'll need for such a outing as you're the experts?
I believe he will need appropriate weaponry.
Oh, he doesn't shoot things. He's made a point of that's his father's thing.
Then perhaps maybe binoculars so that he could watch said hunting trip well, and also perhaps camping gear. I don't know if he expects this to be an overnight sort of thing.
Well, you're the experts. What do you think he says?
I ask Thea, what do you think?
As you turn around, Thea seems to have walked away from the station.
I say, have the governor prepared with at least 3 days
Yep.
rations.
Go, David.
B1, while this is happening, B1 does a quick interstellar Google of what would ordinarily be required for somebody of this guy's stature, of this guy's position, and what would ordinarily be required for a trip of this magnitude, and collates a list and puts it together in his head.
So the list B1 gets is he would normally have a caterer, a medical staff, a guard, and any sort of other sort of conditions that he may have specialist on hand in case he needs assistance.
Alright, so B1 eliminates from that list all of the roles that he can perform, not including catering. He's definitely not a caterer. Collates that list, finds a compromise that will probably not make him happy, but meet his bare essentials, and then hands a data pad to Kiana.
Yeah, she'll go ahead and read out the list to the aide, so I assume that's probably...
Recommends 2 personal guards, a like whatever catering team is necessary for 2 to 3 days traveling in the wilderness.
Yep, so I assume stuff for the 3 to 4 extra persons.
Well, you're thinking there'll probably be about 10 extra people all up.
He has fancy
You could probably
catering
cut
then.
down on some of that.
Yeah. Perhaps maybe if he's able to go bare essentials to cut to a team of 5.
Okay, the A cuts it to a team of 5, he says, but some of you may need to do some of the cooking.
We can provide rustic outdoor fast camp style cooking towards the governor, so it would be a full-on experience.
We will provide him with an authentic camping experience.
There we go.
Piper yells up, I've got ration bags.
No, not that authentic.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you, but...
I say ahead of time, if his standard catering team wishes to provide him with camping rations, that would be acceptable, and then his team that comes along with him will be able to work off of other items, and we will assist in whatever help they need.
He will let the cooking staff know.
Alright.
Okay, about a minute later you get a call from the cooking staff. Asking Ranger Sir, when would you like the rustic food delivered?
If it can be delivered upon our departure from the ship on our safari.
Plate or no plate, cutlery. Do you have a recommended wine list? And it starts going through all these things, including desserts. Yep.
Does B1 hear this conversation?
He does.
Please pass all communications to me. I will manage this.
I say I will have our droid requisition a proper list and hand off comms to B1337.
Okay, so B1337, you are currently talking to the catering crew, sir. Are you the catering droid on the trip, sir?
I manage logistics on this trip.
That is good. So, what do you recommend? The china or the bone plates?
I recommend that you shove that square up your organic backside. This is a practical operation. Anything that is breakable will not be manageable.
Oh, these are guaranteed not to break.
Can the staff carry them?
Well, we were being told to deliver them to the exit so the meal's ready to go.
Send me a list of all of the things that you're intending to send. You will not be sending them all.
Okay. He sends up a 3-course banquet that they were preparing for departure.
Oh yeah, no. Unless anything that's intended on going on the ship is getting cut right back down to bare minimum, B1 will not be telling anybody, and he will supervise all of the loading of the ship, and will very indiscreetly leave behind so much useless garbage.
You have a feeling that this is already on the ship because you're mid jump?
Can I just make sure
sorry.
that...
My apologies. I misinterpreted the situation there, but I've been away for a little bit. So the if it has to go with us, as in basically he's going to prepare a bear-based camp minimum for the stuff that we have to take.
Mm-hmm.
He will give him a tiny bit of luxury, but we will not be taking anything that he expects to be brought.
I just wanted on record that with me, I always carry some rations, just in case B1337 decided not to feed me, which is fine. I've got rations.
Oh no,
on me.
everyone is getting adequately fed down to the base number of calories.
That's fine. I'm good with that. I still have the rations on me.
I do look at B1 going, should we bring any liquid materials with us for drinks and stuff like that, or?
I will manage that.
Water. Yes, water. You'll
Oh,
need to stay
water.
hydrated.
B1 completely ignores you after he says, I will manage all sustenance.
Okay, he knows what he's doing, I tell everyone.
So Martin, you know roughly what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, you're organising...
He will get small concessions, a spot because he's some Ben can't not, but he's not getting a lot.
Okay. So, a few hours later, you hear the ship come out of hyperspace. It's one of the smoothest jumps you've been on.
Nice.
And you get told you're going to make planetfall on Kidron in the next hour. As you get priority service as you're flying Elrood 1. Which is basically the sector governor's own transport.
I go to B1 while this is happening, and I'll just basically ask him, does he want me to be his 2IC for this logistics job?
I don't need any assistance.
Okay, I just thought I'll but if you need it, just let me know.
However, what you fail to realize that I have many, many skills that you haven't seen displayed yet,
Seriously,
including
stop
a
playing.
leadership degree, a communications relay degree, and a logistics degree.
Oh no, I have seen your expertise skills with my previous young life, so I have known what you can do. So I just thought I'd offer it as a favour to a friend. So.
You will not be smuggling any extra alcohol on this trip.
No, we had the shot and that was it. No more alcohol. I don't want to smuggle any alcohol. I'm okay now. I've got through my issue. I'm good. Okay?
That's very doubtful.
I'm very. You can do inside checks, whatever you want to do. I'm as honest can be.
Oh no, you can be honest. That B1 is choosing not to believe you.
Which is not surprising from B1, so it's okay.
Okay, you feel the ship enter the atmosphere. Go ahead.
B1 briefly collaborate with Kiana just to make sure of the exact amount of days supplies that you would like.
I believe suggested is probably 3. So like 3 days of we can prepare for that way we are prepared, because preparedness is next to godliness.
Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Exactly. So we
I like that better.
We're prepared for 4, but our plan is 3, and from there I completely forgot what else I was going to say. So
yeah, halfway through you're wandering off. You're wandering off there and turns around and goes back to his job.
Yep.
Okay, so you see up on the reading that they're expected to enter Orpha City in the next 30 minutes for landing, and that the governor has scheduled talks with the council for the next 2 days.
Having researched these animals, do I come away with a good enough knowledge to track them and?
Well, they fly, so they're very hard to track.
Well, I presume we might be able to get a tracker from these natives who are specialising in olfactory. I mentioned to Kayana that would be good if we could organise that. Do I find...
Interrupts.
Sorry?
B1 interrupts you halfway through talking to Kiana.
Okay.
Perhaps I can coordinate from back in the ship here. I'm sure it has significantly superior sensors.
Let's do both. Because I wouldn't mind learning more about this species and how they do tracking.
Roger, turns around and walks away.
That's fine. And I say to Kayana, I wouldn't mind learning more about this species because they might have things that we can learn when we don't have our very eloquent, highly talented B1337 with us.
I heard that.
I got a player question.
Yep.
This is our sector, so as sector ranger, we have authority on this planet as well.
You do, yes.
Okay, so our sector is what's on the mini map there.
It is.
Oh, perfect. Oh,
So,
yes,
basically,
this is our area.
that's Elrood there, and you go up this lane and then cross that way, and there's Kidron.
Okay, cool. All right, I just wanted to double check, make sure I had my facts straight.
Have I figured out what is the best type of weapon to take these guys down with without... Does he want it alive or dead?
He doesn't care.
Okay, I prefer dead, considering they emit toxins. So do I come across information about how best to kill these little guys? Big guys.
Sniper rifle is really a great way to kill it before it gets anywhere close.
Kadkia. I have intense conversations with Kadkia. And if Kadkia is not here next fortnight, I'm going to drag her back from Sydney and make sure she is.
Yes.
Well, good chance she will be. Go, David.
B1 attempts to enlist the services of the ship's superior sensors and its communication systems.
Okay, they currently seem to be locked out from the passenger area.
Bugger. Because that would have been very helpful.
They or we?
You are locked out of the sensors and other control systems of the ship.
Damn.
You can access.
For anybody on the ship.
You can activate information systems, but you can't activate the ship's sensors or shipboard functions.
Do you communicate that to us at all, B1337?
How about you prompt me to do things that B1 may or may not do? B1 will attempt to find somebody in and around the ship who might have some authority to access the ship. He'll also access the ship system to see if there's anybody who can access.
Okay, so there is the command bridge on the top floor.
Yep.
And you can go up there and speak to them.
He will knock on the door.
Okay, you take the elevator and go up.
Yeah.
And find 2 stormtroopers standing on the bridge area asking you for the your credentials.
Just from player side, do they look familiar?
Yeah, they're the only 2 stormtroopers on
Just
the
on
ship.
board the ship, yeah.
I traveled with you all the way across to here.
Yes, but you have credentials to be on the command bridge.
No, that's why I'm here. I need to ask.
I can take you over to the security desk and they can check your programming.
You can do whatever you want. You're not checking my programming, no.
So I can shoot you, thank you.
No, you cannot.
But that's not checking your programming.
Can I? Am I there with him at the time?
So
or not?
incredibly strange to see an intelligent stormtrooper. That was humor.
Yeah, I'm not there. I'm not there at the moment. I'm not there at all.
I saw that quick U-turn, Mark. Very well
Yeah, no,
done.
Would you like to deal with the sector ranger and tell them why you shot their droid?
That would be an interesting conversation, he says as he checks his weapon. I'm sure it could have accidentally discharged.
Have I noticed that B1337's missing? Knowing B1337, I'm going to start looking for B1337, and I take Piper with me.
That's correct. You do no such thing.
So what's Mark saying at this stage?
Mark just points upstairs to Theana, just saying, hey, he's gone upstairs. Yeah, you probably better check on him.
Yeah, come
That's all I
along.
say.
Come with me.
Okay, so as the stormtrooper is playing with his blaster, the door opens and out step the 2 rangers.
Yep.
Oh, no,
And
what?
do I see
Well,
him?
one ranger and 1 consultant, sorry.
Do I see him with his blaster?
Yep.
What's he doing with it exactly?
Seems to be checking his blaster.
Okay, that's fine. I come up and I'm like, here you are, B1337.
Yes. These disgusting meat sacks won't grant me access to the ship's sensors.
So I address the troopers and I say, how do I get access to the sensors for my companion here?
Why do they need access?
They're going to use the sensors to assist us in achieving the governor's desire to get a 3-meter toxic animal in on his safari hunt. The governor would be very pleased if we succeed at this, and if my B1337 has access, we are more likely to achieve that.
He's sure you can put in the proper requisition form and he can have it signed off.
Can I just use my 3 presents to just try and get him to do it?
You can try. Let's see.
Can Piper use her charm to help out?
Piper would like to charm.
Piper will use my 1 charm that I've got to, just say, hey, look, we all want to help the governor here. Come on, let's work with us here. Come on.
Can I quickly ask, what are the force points again?
pick up
Should
your
I be using
scale.
those?
So force points would change one of these green to a yellow.
What does that mean?
More chance for success and bonus things happening.
Is it worthwhile doing that at this
You
stage?
can do it at this stage because you get to use them whenever you want to use them.
Okay, I'll do that.
Because you can also use them to change story aspects to your favour.
I just want to see what happens, and hopefully I don't ruin the party for everyone.
Okay. So Let's see.
Maybe?
So
I don't know what that means, so it's kind of useful because I don't get stressed.
Okay, so you succeed in getting through, but you seem to have annoyed them at the same time.
Okay.
As they say, well, remember this breaching protocol.
I tell them I'll try and make it up to them. I ask them what their favourite liquor is.
They say that you'll have to get your sector commander to sign off on the breaching protocol.
Okay, is that Kayana?
Pretty much Kayana will
I
then,
comms Kayana, because I have comms.
You're not getting through at this stage from comms coming in and out of their level.
Okay, I tell them I will be right back.
So, well,
I will leave Piper and B1327 here.
But we're dealing with this first.
What's that?
You're giving access to the droid to the...
Oh, okay, so they're going to give us access first, and
Yeah.
then I'll get it signed off by Kayana.
Well,
And hope she doesn't hang and draw a quarter me.
But basically, you're using her authority to give the droid access.
Okay.
Okay.
Ouch. Sure.
Which is why they're basically making you pay for...
Yeah. I'll take that. It's fair.
Okay, so they go over and they give the droid authority to view the sensors.
Can he alter them at all? What if he needs to?
They're giving him access to the sensors. That's all they're giving him to.
Okay. If I
Yeah,
get
so-
Kayana to sign off on this, will he get more access?
No, but giving someone access to a ship's systems is a big thing for
Okay.
people who don't need it.
Is there a possibility to give him access to some of the sensors just for the hunt? Like the sensors that would be useful in hunting?
You don't exactly know what they're giving him access to. They take him over to the security desk and give him a certain level of privileges,
Okay.
and then say your sector ranger needs to now sign off on all that
Okay.
because you've used their authority.
Okay.
As they hand you a data pad to take off.
Okay. I read the data pad on my way over to Kayana and hope not to hit any walls.
So I'll just, how long have you been troopers for? And I'll just start chit chat.
One of them says, I've only been a stormtrooper for about 2 months now. I went through intensive training.
Piper, if you don't recall, we recognise this trooper from our first bounty,
Yeah,
but they don't recognise us.
So BT-279 was your first bounty.
So-
Don't tell B279 that we were the ones that drew him in.
No. I'm just going to have a chat to him and just general chit chat. Well, I'll let my droid friend do his magic. So
He X out at hitting targets.
well, that's good to hear. It's good to have I suppose a good skill that can provide some,
Yeah, he had the highest hit ratio on his squad. He got 45% of the targets.
45!
Was that with a sniper or was that blaster or which your speciality?
It says blaster pistol.
It's a good thing I'm not there, I would have fainted.
I said I'm still learning. I'm still getting used to my blaster pistol. I'm not quite up to that level yet.
So most of the rest had about a 30% average, so he was glad that he got better than them.
It is so good that I'm not there.
That's good to hear. So, did you have much time to relax or have fun or anything like that, or you just more training?
What's relaxed? I'm on duty.
Oh, when you're off duty, do you have any time to yourself?
What's off duty?
Oh, okay.
I'm a stormtrooper. I'm always on duty.
Is that real? In the really? They never get time off.
They are. So you know how the clones are grown?
Yeah.
The stormtroopers are indoctrinated.
Wow.
Complete personality wipe.
Oh, okay.
Wow. That's
Sometimes goes wrong.
that's really horrible.
Oh.
I can understand the levels a little bit more now. Alright,
Yeah, it's almost as if we're working for the wrong people.
Yeah. Almost. Not quite.
Though you do know the crimes he was committed, so now he has no memory of the crimes he committed, and he's serving the community he harmed.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Kinda good.
So I'm just going to ask all questions.
Yes, that's one example. One rare example.
I'm just going to sit there flicking my hair and just look interested in this guy. And
He doesn't seem to have any interest in you whatsoever.
He's a stormtrooper.
I'm trying
Apparently
to
they castrate them as well.
I don't know this shit, do I, or not?
You don't know much about stormtroopers. You never had that interest. It was
No.
they weren't Mandalorians, so you didn't really have to know much about them.
Oh, okay. So I'm just going to ask all sorts of random questions, and
Keeping them
keep them busy. While B1 does his thing. So, and
B1's waiting for approval to access the sensors.
I'm walking over to Kayana as we speak.
Well, you've got to go to the elevator and go down a couple of levels.
Yeah, I do that.
Okay, you're given access to the droid port, so you have to plug yourself in. I'm sure it's not going to hurt.
Sorry, was that me?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
If it was me, it would be very painful.
So B1 also looks to Piper and says, "Wow, it's a good thing I can't feel pain because your conversation is one of the most painful I've ever experienced. I need the long-range communications module that we picked up a while ago."
Okay, so you plug in and you see the ship sensors, pictures of the planet. It is a tropical planet with mainly ocean. And you're coming into land at Orpha City. You even see the landing grid as it's coming in. And you're landing not far from the capital's governing building, which is actually quite small. For a council that governs the world.
I presume during this time I've made it to Kayana and I've explained the situation. I've got her to sign off, hopefully.
Well, it's up to you. Kayana's now you're running to Kayana at this point.
That's why I'm like, hopefully sign off.
I say to her,
I am very apologetic, but I explain I was put on the spot. And
I say that we may need to speak as a team about following protocols, as one thing that we have learned working with both sector rangers and Imperial officials, we need to follow protocols at all times.
And you get
I take that, and I also express if there's any negative consequences from this, I will take full responsibility for them.
Unfortunately, Kayana takes full responsibility for any negative consequences because you're used to her authority.
Yeah, It's
Really?
okay.
So you're both of you guys just go, guys.
Okay.
It doesn't come through at this stage because there are no comms from the security bridge to the rest of the ship.
Can't get help from B1, sorry.
I head back to communicate that I've been somewhat of an idiot, but it's been a learning curve for me.
Okay,
Sorry,
get the long-range
give me a sec. I wanted to hear what David said.
Sorry.
Go, David.
It's alright, Mark got it.
Yeah, so I got told by the droid to get my ass out there and get the long-range communication module. So I walk down and go, where's the long-range communication module? The thingy that plugs into that thingy that goes into the other thingy? And I'm asking both.
And then
It's in the car.
And then you see basically as Piper comes out asking that, the two of you were just finishing your conversation.
I say to Piper, it's in the Ranger van vehicle thing.
Okay. Can one of you go tell B1 that? I'm not going to go tell him that. Not a good idea.
I'll just go get it.
Okay.
The car's not here, but car's back on the other planet.
Oh,
No, the car's parked on the ship.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was on the other planet.
Yeah, so okay. I'll just go get it. I will be back as ASAP.
Okay.
Okay, quick. He gets cranky. You know he gets cranky.
I kind of jog as if I am speeding up, but really I'm just walking fast.
Okay, so there are a couple of security guards moving around the vehicles, decontaminating and checking them.
Yeah.
You get to yours, you find that there's a survival kit for each of you packed in the supply section.
Nice.
And it's got a breath mask, a set of rations, a canteen of water, bedding.
That is very, very interesting. I'm still going to use the ship's ones right now because then it doesn't use up our supplies for later. And I get
Is this the stuff that B1 prepared, or is it just stuff that ended up there?
Stuff that was put in there by Betty.
Gotcha.
Is this the stuff that we bought for the vehicle?
So
No.
this is stuff that we'll need
Okay.
in terms of a hunting, but it seems that the governor's, I guess,
Well, Betty asked
schedule is that
Bet-
he's in meetings for 2 days.
Yeah, Betty had asked questions before getting your vehicle ready.
Yeah.
She generally does that.
This is why we have Betty. Betty is good. She's good at her job.
Upon noting all of
And
this,
with the droid pack is the long-range communications.
and upon noting the other survival kits, do I see anything there that we don't have access to already?
Well, the droid pack has long-range comms as well as a couple of repair patches for the droid.
Can I carry all of them back?
Well, you can do it in multiple trips, not in
Okay.
one trip.
I
You
do
can probably
that.
do about half in a trip.
I do the droids first, and
We'll likely be taking the vehicle onto the planet.
are we?
You could.
I would assume so.
Yes.
Isn't it a closed-in vehicle though?
It is, which means that you can sleep safely inside the vehicle.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good point. We'll go with that, but I'll bring the droids pack to him because he needs it right now.
Okay. So yes,
I speed up as I'm coming through the door as if I run the whole way.
well, you go all the way up to the top floor, and the droid's still plugged into the terminal.
Yep, I hand over
Uh,
all the stuff.
yeah. Everyone looks to you and says, "You know, I really didn't need it right now. I just needed Piper to get the hell out of here."
Yeah, I've got some exercise.
Thank you.
I walk back in.
Piper,
I
get out!
Oh,
hook
alright.
Piper by the elbow and say, "Come with me." And
Okay.
B1
And-
looks to the two guards that
Escort her
Piper is
out.
bothering and says, "You're welcome."
Both of them give you a thumbs up and go back to guarding.
yep, that's pretty much what I expected.
And then you hear them talking about the local HoloNet sports games.
Cadkey will want in on that.
Wow, how about those sports teams?
Yay, sports.
While we're walking back with Deanna, I go, geez, those Stormtrooper guys are so boring. They just couldn't even get one conversation out of them all. I said, you know those beasts that you should capture? I get more conversations out of those and I can't even understand them, those Stormtroopers.
Are you saying that to me or to Kayana?
I said to both you guys, you'll be both meetings
Can I
to both
still
you
with
guys.
that?
No, but you get down to Kayana rather quickly because the elevators don't take long.
Okay, fair enough. Do I know anything more about stormtroopers than Papa does?
Not really. It's not your speciality. You've been dealing with researching monsters and beasts of the region.
So I go, stormtroopers.
They're not as accurate as Mandalorians, is all you know.
I've always got your back.
Look, let's put it this way, a Jar is more smart than a Stormtrooper. So,
I find a Jawa a little bit more interesting because they probably got things I can learn.
That's
did I tell you about the story about
brave,
me?
considering out of the two of you, one of them has a master and the other doesn't.
Sorry, what's this?
Yeah.
He says, considering one has a blaster and the other doesn't.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Ah.
yeah.
No, I'm out of the room by now, David, so I wouldn't be saying
Yeah.
this in the room now.
Yeah, no, we've
Oh.
left.
No, that was me. It's like,
Yeah,
Ah,
no, that's
yeah.
fair, cool. Oh, so I'm just going to go, well, did I tell you about the story about my Jawas? Because, I'm really bored right now because I've just been sitting around for the last 6 hours and I've done my karaoke sessions. I've been pretty good. Anyone didn't really get an idea how it goes.
Are
I'm
you
just- I'm
asking...
just-
Sorry.
No,
Are you asking me or Kayana?
I'm asking you, sorry.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Have I done all the research I can by now?
You've done a
Correct.
bit, though you do get told that you will be met not long after landing by someone by the name of Grea,
Spelt.
Grea.
Yep.
One of the leading hunters of the region.
What were their species called again?
Orphites.
I got it.
Yeah, Orfite. Okay, so yes, you feel the ship touch down at that point.
So while Piper's talking to me, I multitask like every woman can. Listen to her while also, running through all the checks that I can to make sure I'm as prepared as possible for what's coming. I do a little bit of research on Greer if I can.
She is known for always succeeding on a hunt.
I am very happy to read that.
No matter what she's hunting.
I am extremely happy to hear that. And I will be happy to learn from her as well.
And she'll hunt anything that as a challenge as well as for the price.
I'm hoping that doesn't count Mandalorians. At least at this stage, and at least not me.
And she's the most highly rated hunter of the Elrood sector.
Nice. So lots of respect. Alright, cool. Alright, I'm good.
Okay, so as you feel the touchdown, which is one of the softest landings you've been on. Obviously, they spared no real expense on ships like this. You hear that there's that the governor will be busy for the next 2 days, and you've got this time to research what you're going to do.
Is Greer available?
Greer's apparently going to be joining you on the ship shortly.
Okay.
They basically are also waiting for clearances and go ahead.
I definitely want to chat with her if I can have it. So that's what I'm waiting around for.
Okay. What does everyone else wish to do?
I suppose what I would do is I would talk to Piper, and I say I kind of pull Piper aside when B1337 is busy doing something else. I say to Piper, as we are unsure on who is on this planet, you are a ranger consultant. If anybody asks who you are a ranger consultant. Your only name is Piper. Understood? And I kind of emphasize ranger consultant only.
I'm gathering you're giving her one of those, we're family and I love you, but you need to do this looks.
Essentially, yeah. And I'm kind of just stressing this is for Piper's safety. I'm just like, Piper, you are a consultant. Understood? Understood?
And you do know that now that you're no longer on Elrood, Piper can easily carry weapons, and you can wear armor, because Kidron does not have the same restrictions as Elrood.
I think that's a good idea.
I make sure she's outfitted
Nice.
properly, and I make sure that everybody has their items in order and understands their orders. And yeah, go ahead.
Martin, V1 attempts to establish a comms net with the long-range communications module to see if you can actually penetrate their security gate.
Okay, I will give you a computer check against their system.
Happy to play that.
Okay, so as far as I can tell there, you are successful in penetrating their system. Quite successful, in fact. As you got 3 successes and 2 advantages.
Sure. Have they shut the ship down as far as the landing is concerned?
They've locked the ship down. They basically put it in standby mode.
Okay. I assume that still gives me access to the sensors and scanners.
And basically they've turned over sensors and scanners to a terminal of your choice. Because they're no longer
Fantastic.
traveling.
The droid comm support is fine.
Because they're no longer traveling, they don't need to direct the sensors for flight.
Fantastic. So B1 basically just sets up a commanding coordination base from where he is to enable him to guide everybody around to where they need to be and to try and scan for said beasties.
What was the beastie called again?
The beastie is called the, I believe you... Sorry, I'll look it up very quickly.
Sorry.
That's okay. I have it. It is called the Jammer. Jammer.
Okay. Oh yeah, the pump up the jammer.
Mhm.
Yep.
And you do find out B1337 that you can connect your long range scanner into the ship's sensors and use it remotely if you wish to.
That's handy.
Yep. Any chance that I can get to detect literally anything?
Though the distinctions of the ship is, are there life forms in the region, is it can detect the presence of life forms and percentage. Doesn't actually give you pinpointing positions of people.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. How strong is the communication system like? Is there some significant bandwidth, or is it basically just voice only?
You can get a lot of data bandwidth and actually see the sensor systems through your communications because you have planet-wide reach with your long-range communications.
Fantastic. So what I'm wondering is, can I set up? You know what? Mine doesn't matter. We'll cover that in a minute. That's B1 done. He's just going to keep doing this. And maintaining this sensor suite, but maintaining contact and command and control between everyone.
Okay. And while you're doing that, your sensors tell you that a small ship is coming in to land near the governor's ship. It's reading as the Never Quit.
B1 passes this information on to Keanu and then just monitors it.
It is basically painted black and non-reflective, no external lighting, and sensor profile is you didn't pick it up until it was almost within meters of the ship itself.
Yep, this means very little to B1, but he does pass the information on to Keanu.
Mm-hmm.
From what Kiana knows, does she recognize either the name of the ship or this type of ship as being something threatening?
You have never seen this ship type before.
I suggest this might be Greer.
I instruct my fellow rangers that we are going to investigate from a safe vantage point.
B1 gives you a threat analysis of significant.
You can't pick up much on the ship as it's got a lot of sensor baffling, but you do think it has weaponry, though they don't seem to be powered up.
Has any of my
Yeah,
research about Greer
that you can
revealed
avoid
what
the senses
what
that
she's
completely
got this
is
condition?
threat level significant.
And you get one ore fight coming off the ship on your sensors, so they look like, I'll show you a picture of what they look like.
Male or female?
You can't really tell.
Okay.
So that's what they look like to you.
Yep.
And they have quite a few heavy weapons on them as they're walking towards the ship. None of the weapons seem to be readied.
I suggest to Kayana that this might be Greer and we should go down and greet her and be very respectful.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Thea and go down to greet this person with the assumption that it is Bria.
And as an aside, B1337, you are correct. The threat level is significant.
Yes.
Of course I'm correct.
Yes.
Okay, so you open the door and the ore fight outside bows towards you and says, "Greetings, Sector Ranger. My name is Greer. I have been engaged to assist in your hunt."
I let Kayana take the lead since she's my leader.
I do a Mandalorian salute back shelter, whatever would be acceptable for a Mandalorian to do. And I say it's an honor to have someone as skilled as yourself join us in this fight, and we hope to learn much from you. Please join us aboard so that we can discuss strategy in how to hunt the jammers.
And
you
one thing you do know
introduce-
is she's
sorry.
short compared to most of you. She's about 1.5 meters, whereas most
Okay.
of you are about between 1.6 to 1.8.
Do you introduce me as well, or am I introducing myself?
As I introduce her, or I welcome her aboard, and we start walking along, I introduce each of the members of the group that are with us. So it's just Rangers right now. I want to specify that. And I say we'll be joining our two consultants as well, who will be joining us on this trip, along with the governor's staff and the governor himself. And we wish to discuss with you best options in hunting this animal. So to that, I will hand you over to our animal expert, or our person with animal experience.
That's more like it.
Says, okay, so who actually engaged me for this hunt? Because it doesn't actually say on my with my guild contact who engaged.
She's asking Kayana.
Yeah, she's asking you actually, because
me.
you've been directed to her.
Well, I presume the governor. Whoever engaged you made a really good decision. I try not to fangirl too much.
You sort of see that she sort of sighs. Well, it feels like a babysitting trip to her.
I understand how that would feel to you, but I get to learn a lot from you. I very much respect what you do and the fact that you've achieved the status that you've achieved. You know, I get that she's going to be a bit bored, basically, but I can't do anything about that. I'm grateful she's there, and then I can learn from her.
Okay, you see she puts a few weapons down on the table to sort of get not carry around all her
Armory.
guns, and she basically has about 2 different rifles, a couple of other capture style weapons. She says, "So
Take note of those if I can."
are we here to capture, kill, trophy?"
I would say kill trophy.
Kill trophy.
Because the governor wants to particularly hunt this creature, so he more likely wants to stick a trophy up and
Does he
tell the
wish
story.
to do the kill? Can
I
he actually shoot a blaster?
I don't believe he wishes to shoot himself.
I believe that he wants to kill the beast, but you know, if we heavily wound it first and render it basically harmless and he does the final shot, it's probably what he would prefer.
Though you do notice that at Kayana's comment, Gria seems to chuckle with the. Well, you sort of think that she'll probably find it funny if it did happen. If the governor shot himself.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I just communicate that, you know, I'm pretty sure he wants to get credit for the kill, but he doesn't want to be in any actual danger.
Well, she says it's the first time she's heard of the governor going on a hunting expedition, so this is rather unusual. And wondering why you were also engaged, because it sounds like overkill.
I explained to her that I'm very new to this position. I'm still learning about being a sector ranger, that I was appointed only weeks ago. That I'm doing...
She saw the news nets. You're all over the sector.
I hope that's not bad.
What was that, David?
Just a quick question. Would I have an open receiving link from all of the communication devices?
You can pick up security channels from each of the levels. If you want to listen in on their level, you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Not going to say anything. I just would like to hear this conversation.
So she normally refers to, locals will refer to people like you as the unluckies, people who were born out of the sector who have ended up here.
Fair point.
Whereas they will refer to most locals as rudes, people who were born here.
Okay, I take note of that.
So if anyone refers to you as an unlucky, it's not because you're particularly have bad luck.
It's just part of the culture.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. I've got thick skin.
Okay, Kesley.
Yeah?
B1 sends a message to Kiana's terminal saying he's kind of right. I would be on the lookout for other such problems that may occur. This is way too much overkill for one base.
Kiana takes note, and I guess we'll remain vigilant for any other outside threats.
Yeah, so personally I think it's overkill too, but we're not in a position... I explained to Greer that we don't have her respect or her level of authority here, so we have to tread the diplomatic path.
Well, normally she's not welcome on her home planet because of her role as a hunter. Hunters are not welcome here. If you pull a weapon, be prepared to have 50 weapons pulled and fired at you if you pull it on a local.
Okay.
Never draw on a local.
Okay.
No, for whatever reason, the locals will gun you down.
Okay.
It's one of the laws of this planet.
If my group isn't here hearing this, I will pass this on to my group and,
Yeah,
like Kiana, absolutely emphasise, don't pull guns on
B1
locals.
immediately sends this in a message to the entire group.
Yep.
And says, if you find a bounty anywhere on this planet, do not try to apprehend, capture, or detain in any way whatsoever. The same may result in the locals will pull their guns and shoot you.
Good advice, but we are here as sector rangers for this particular job, not as bounty hunters.
Even as a sector ranger, if you see someone who's a wanted criminal, do not apprehend or try to capture said person,
Okay.
because the locals will pull their guns and shoot you no
That
matter
is
who you
also useful information, and I make sure the rest of the group knows that too.
are. The Empire has no authority on this planet, neither does the governor,
Okay.
even though the governor rules the sector.
So I emphasise that we're here as guests as far as the home planet's concerned.
The base rule of this planet is everyone's past is forgiven, no matter what you've done. If you try to detain or impede anyone without the permissions of the ruling council, then you have committed a crime and they have no prisons.
This will probably sound like a stupid question, but I think in this circumstance, stupid questions are probably okay.
Yeah.
I'm presuming the creature we're going to kill doesn't have these same rights.
The creature you're chasing is basically on one of the other islands generally.
Right.
And we will be taking a transport to there.
Okay.
And spending time looking for it. Shouldn't take too long because the island's technically infested with them. And we're sort of doing a community service as long as we don't get too many attacking us.
Okay.
Make sure you have breathing apparatus. Make sure you have people who can actually shoot, so preferably no stormtroopers. And you sort of see her with... It was very dismissive when she says that. And make sure that whoever you've got of importance has at least 2 to 3 guards on them at all times, because these creatures hunt the weak. And anyone who we're escorting along is most obviously going to be the weakest member of the group.
I turned to Kiana and I'm like, I obviously don't have the authority and I do not want to overstep the authority, but that's the one thing we haven't prepared for. So that sounds like something that we should make sure is done. Can I do that?
Yeah.
We agreed to 2 guards and 3 caterers.
She said at least 3, so...
Yeah, with this new information, we might just only do guards and we carry all food ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's totally workable, because I think 4 guards. If she's saying at least 3, I kind of want to get 6, but minimum of 4.
If he has that many guards, yeah.
Let's just make sure. Let's triple check to make sure the stormtroopers are not the guards assigned to the governor.
No, they're assigned to the ship.
Awesome.
B1. So that other patient, that one stormtrooper that was reprogrammed, were they a bit of a badass?
That they were the one who had shot aliens because they were alien.
It was our very
So
first
really
bounty.
Just a douche, not a badass.
Yep. And basically, he was less accurate before he became a stormtrooper.
Okay. B1 spends some time analysing all of the guards that have been sent to the governor and attempts to create a profile on all of them and to find out which one is the most skilled.
Currently down as there are 10 guards on board. 4 of them are skilled in melee, ranged, and stealth.
Yep.
2 are skilled in vehicles and gunnery.
Yep.
And the remaining 4 are basically tech, medical, science, and languages.
This information is passed, all of this information in the profile is passed on to Kiana.
So just to quickly check, this would be the one who demanded Corellian ale to release the hostages he took?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so very much a douchebag from what I'm reading.
Yeah, no, so I was just saying whether he was potentially more skilled than the guards, and he's not, he's just a douche.
From what I'm reading, absolutely not.
Well, he did manage to outrun Imperials, so he outrun the people he became.
That's kind of true, but yeah. He also preferred to drink than to actually take care of himself.
Yeah, she tells you she has 10 years experience as a hunter in Elrood. And this is her maiden flight of her ship she got built in the Koyon shipyards.
I compliment her on her ship, and I get back to the details of hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I just want all the nitty-gritty that I can get out of her, so that we can be as best prepared for this hunt. Since she's a hunting expert, I figure get what I can out of her. If she's happy to part with that information, I'm...
Well, she sits down and starts swapping animal hunting stories with you.
Awesome.
Which you do recognize some of the animals.
Yeah.
Go, David.
B1 will also attempt to interstill Google information about these creatures based on the databases or on that he can potentially have access to on the planet to see whether she's telling the truth.
Okay, so she's giving a lot of animals that don't appear on the databases.
Sorry.
Apparently, the governor doesn't do a lot of travel outside of Elrood, and the ship itself is not equipped to tap into other people's systems. But from what you can tell, locally picking up, there are 2 main creatures on the planet: the krill, which they sell for meat, are the core livestock. They are climbing herbivore that basically looks like a monkey sort of creature. So let's see, looks like that.
Yeah.
And that's the main food stock and export. They're about 1.5 to 2.5 meters tall when they stretch out. And the jammer, which is the core predator of the planet. There are a lot of other animals as well, but most of them aren't notable.
Yep.
Because not many things can withstand having their complete sensory system shut down by the jammer.
Yeah, gotcha. So it looks like the information that she's giving is truthful.
And basically giving you how to avoid the entanglements of the cities by staying away from the high city of refuge, you avoid most of the entanglements with the criminal society of the planet.
Yeah.
Because
V1's going to start collating all of this information into a potential guide that he will hand out, that he will give to whichever members are chosen to that he will give to all of the governor's guards.
Yep, and she's earmarked a certain island off one of the main coasts. So she says this is one of their hunting areas. It's not their breeding area, so you won't be affecting the life cycle of these creatures. Pointing out that as a hunter, you don't want to exterminate the creature unless that's what you're paid for. So you'll just be hunting one of the more juvenile creatures, trying to gain territory and food. So
Sounds about right.
But basically, she's trying to keep the sustainability of the planet going at the same time. Says there's no point hunting the animals to extinction because it serves no purpose.
Sounds good and ethical to me.
Also, if you're not paid to do that, basically this is the best value for money, as it will be the most challenging fight, as well as helping the environment at the same time. She checked with the council for which area is currently got the worst of the predators that they want dealt with, and they indicated this island.
I'm taking copious notes. Because that's a good idea. I didn't know to do that, and that's something that I want to retain for future. Hopefully my character does not have the 2-second memory I have.
Yep, so you find that she's basically even gotten permission for the hunting, as well as travel to the location, and confirmed that there'll be no other parties in the area to cause complications. Having paid the government to make it an exclusive hunting area.
So I ask her questions about how she actually did that.
Ariadne.
Go, David.
Yeah, so Ariadne, just so you know, V1 will be taking everything down word for word, summarising it, and then sending it back to you, to your data pads.
Nice. I'd like that as well, because I find that very useful.
So she's basically set it up that she has no competition in the hunt, and shouldn't, if you hear any other vehicles or vessels approaching, she says assume that they're a threat. Sometimes you will get attacked in the wilderness because, well, you're not a local,
it's
and
wilderness.
You're sector rangers, so you have a target painted on your back on this planet.
So if we get attacked in the wilderness, can we shoot back?
Shoot first, and we'll apologise later, she says. No stun setting.
Good with that.
Because her life is at a higher threat than yours on this planet, because she is the equivalent of wanted felon based on her actions. She has probably taken more people associated with criminal organisations run off this planet than anyone else.
I ask her that since this culture tends to have a perspective where your past is left behind, considering that culture has that belief, why then is she sort of the exception?
Because she chose to be a hunter,
so
where the past is important.
It's a particular thing to your people that you've chosen to be a hunter, and in your case, your past can't be left behind.
Not just a hunter of beasts.
It's the fact that the criminal elements of this planet are not of her people.
I see.
So you'll find many Gamorreans. There are also Twi'leks and a few other races that have set up shop on this planet, escaping from the horrors of whatever world they came from. Here, slavery is illegal, as is the detaining of anyone. So those who have captured, say, pirates, as she has, if they have any of their pirate friends on planet, those pirate friends will want to get revenge.
I see.
And the Orphites themselves will not seek to harm, but they will not also intervene.
Yeah.
It's
Alright.
basically a disagreement between friends, as they put it, that
Stop
is
their
outside their business.
That is a fair call too.
So her ship will be on lockdown while she's traveling with you. She doesn't have the space to take all of you.
That's fine. I believe, and I look at Kayana, that arrangements are being made for us to travel.
If not,
I assume so.
says if not, she's already arranged some transports herself, as she was hired for a hunt. She did not know that there would be other hunters traveling with her.
Yeah, we weren't advised much either.
Though she did get the notice that Piper is no longer considered a hunter. She says, looking at Piper, and says, she does not know who you pissed off, but apparently you pissed off someone enough to be booted from the guild, with everyone in the guild getting notification of your exit. She sticks her hand out to you and apologizes on behalf of the Hunters Guild for your treatment.
I just said to her, I think I said, yes, it's a bit of a shock still to this day.
And she advises you that if we were to meet outside of said planet, she has been authorized to take you out on behalf of the guild, but she does not wish to follow through with such a thing. So unofficially, she does not know what you look like.
This is actually good to know.
She does not believe in hunters taking out former hunters.
No, and I want to make sure it doesn't happen.
And
so I'm looking at the rest of the party and going, should I really come on this? Because wouldn't that cause more risk to you guys?
She says, as far as she's concerned, you are part of the protection detail and fall under the protection of her and everyone else coming along.
I would say, Piper, considering that the culture here is that your past is behind you, you have nothing to worry about from the Orphites themselves. And hopefully it is assurance that your family is going to be with you, and we will do our best to kill anybody who tries to hurt you.
That's what I kind of like back that up, and I say you are family, and you are a ranger consultant. Wake.
Yep.
Though she is saddened that you were kicked off the guild before she got to work with you. As she had earmarked you for a training session.
Oh god, that would have been good. How do you get training sessions?
As a player, I'm happy right now, but as a character, you feel a bit of sadness come over Piper for a little bit. She's kind of trying to buck herself up, but she's hearing all these good things about what she could have had, and now she's going, okay, cool.
Well, she tries to at least train each up-and-comer beforehand, because she wants them to know who's in charge, who gets the first pick of the bounties.
So do I have to be a guild member for her to train me? Is there no exception to that?
She can choose to train people outside of that, but then she charges them.
What does she charge?
Depends on how much she likes you.
I just want to know how much I need to save up.
Mostly, she generally charges about 1,000 to 10,000 credits a day.
Ooh, I'm going to start saving. I let her know. And I'll let Piper know that if I am able to get training, I will pass everything on to her.
But
okay, Piper's not really listening right now. She's kind of like zoning out a bit. So
though she does tell Piper that if she's ever in trouble, she can give her a call and she will see what she can do as way of recompense for what happened.
You should write that down, because that could be very handy.
Yeah, my pad for all my Star Wars stuff is in the car right now, so
Right.
I'm gonna shoot.
Send yourself a text right now.
Start a
I'm
file.
gonna assume that somebody else wrote it down for me. Piper's like, still a bit kind of, yeah.
So she's known as Greer the Orphight, which is basically the only Orphight bounty hunter in the region.
I've written all that down.
Thank you.
And her personal starship, the Never Quit, is
I wrote that down
is
too.
basically a custom built starfighter
Mm.
that looks like
I'm-
a dagger.
Privately doing a Kayana and trying not to fangirl out, obviously, but, you know, my admiration for her is probably very obvious.
And she's basically all professional and basically thinks that they were stupid for washing you out. She actually quite liked the footage she saw of your kill.
The humanitarian.
She doesn't approve of the target, but she liked the way you got them into a private area, killed them, and then made the accident appear afterwards, so as not to risk having the client escape before causing the accident.
Is there actual footage of Piper doing that?
The way she talks, there's footage.
Does that footage is Piper identifiable, like by face, in that footage?
You ask her this?
Yes.
It's because, of course, the guild always follows its trainees around to give them pointers on improving their skills and techniques for the hunts before that they're considered seasoned enough to choose their own jobs.
This is good to know, because that's going to be a threat that might face Piper in the future. But the other thing is how then did she dishonour the guild by not doing the bounty if the bounty guild already has footage of her doing the bounty?
Because the Imperials are investigating it as a murder, not a suicide.
So they're keeping this footage to themselves and pretending like she never did it, and therefore she's been dishonoured without actually... She
has failed the job. The job was
No,
the
and I-
person
and I-
had to
I- I-
have
I- yeah.
had to have appeared to have killed themselves.
Okay,
Go ahead.
alright.
I was going to pipe up saying, look, my job was to make it look like an accident. I didn't quite make that, so that's where I've dishonoured the bounty.
Okay,
So,
I was just trying to understand the context just a little bit more deeply.
The job was to make it look like an accident, and she failed to do so.
Okay, yeah, fair enough, because the Imperials called it murder.
Yeah, that the Imperials have
If the
officially
Imperials had called
decreed
it
a murder.
accidental, then she would have succeeded.
If the Imperials had called it accidental, then she would have gotten away with the act which she thought was good enough, but the person, Lieutenant Sandimo, she says, is a little too thorough for her liking.
Probably a little too thorough for all of our liking. But it may benefit us in the immediate future.
He's good at his job.
Yes, but sometimes you don't want them to be as good at their job.
He actually ordered the medical tests to be re-examined after the first ruling of suicide had been made.
Okay.
He's very thorough at his job.
Yep.
Kayana has a bit of a professional crush on Lieutenant Sandy. Not like a romantic crush, but a professional crush, you know?
I think we both do, really, because we like thoroughness. Really, it's
I like
kind of a
somebody
part
who
of what we
does
do.
his job and does his
Yeah.
job well.
Piper thinks he's a dick, so it's
So,
okay. Yeah.
Greer goes through the planned hunt, lays out a search grid of a camp setup where you'll be basically giving a 360 window around the campsite. And that you'll be putting out a distress call of one of its prey to lure it towards you. But because of the fact that you don't know where it's coming from, it's better to lure it towards you than hunt for it, because the moment you hunt for it, you will be its prey. He says you don't hunt it, it hunts you. And basically recommends that approach where you have two people covering every firing arc.
There's 6 of us with Greer, so
As
not
well,
quite the 8 we'd like.
We'll be using the guards with the governor itself, while the governor is also under constant protection.
Okay, so that would give us a good square of 8. So all the points.
And basically, the chance to change, having one person always pointing out in each direction, but the others can then cover. So that way, you've got 2 people looking in each direction, but one person's always covering each direction.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how many of these creatures are going to come.
Yeah.
And with that, she says that should giving a map of the campsite she selected, which provides water, basic nuts and berries, and simple animals that you can capture yourself for food if you wish to, as well as easy access to the emergency shuttle should you have anyone injured. And far enough away from the water that you're not going to be considered prey for the aquatic species.
Yeah.
Which apparently is bad enough that they stay away from them.
Yeah. But you never know what's underneath the water.
So she says that should ground us for a decent hunt. If you approve of this, she will spend the rest of tomorrow making sure all the paperwork's in order, that the council has no issues, and that the ship will be ready to transport us to the location.
Although this was boring, can I
think-
accompany her and sit with her while she does that?
She's happy.
Because I might have to fill out this paperwork one day.
And what about Kayana? What does Kayana want to do?
I would say I was gonna thank Greer for her preparation, and that myself and or Thea would be available to her at any point should she need our team to assist with any preparations.
Let's put it this way: as long as she doesn't object, I'm her shadow.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's happy to take you with her as she goes and talks to the council.
Yep.
She basically will
I just quietly, respectively observe throughout all of these.
She says
things.
she'll see you in the morning to take you on that walk.
Yep.
But to leave everything but light blasters behind.
Yep.
Because she says don't appear as a threat,
Yep.
but don't go unarmed.
Yep.
If you have melee weapons, carry them too.
Yep. I got a gaffy stick.
That would be handy. Best to be carried over shoulder, ready to get.
Yep.
Don't appear threatening, and we should get along fine.
Believe it or not, I do have the gaffy stick part now.
Mm-hmm. And that would be a good point for us to finish off tonight, where you have managed to get to a different planet. You now have a hunting expedition. Kidron, yes.
Kidron.
And you have a slave partner. Yeah.
You are never a slave piper. We are slave to you.
That's the thing, is like, I don't want to
That
make
is
Piper
how
a
the
slave,
planet
and at the
looks like.
same time, I want to protect her.
So
that's okay.
That's how the planet looks.
And so I feel like Kesley, as a player, feels so sad, and Kayana herself feels really sad that she essentially has to treat Piper this way. But she got the sense from Captain Dom that these orders are in place for a reason, and Kayana accepts orders that are in place for a reason.
You also get the feeling that the captain doesn't want to give the orders, but
Yeah.
has basically been given no other options.
Yeah, so Kayana is reluctantly carrying out these orders, and I'm sure.
Call you all out on bullshit.
Yeah.
I would suggest, and Mark can correct me, that Piper probably understands that we're only doing this because we got no other choice.
I don't know.
No, I don't think Piper sees it that way. I'll just be honest.
Yeah, I
with
don't
Well,
you.
if she doesn't,
I don't
I'll
think
explain
Piper
it to
would
her.
see it that way,
Well,
though.
the thing is, they're not
You
allowed
can
to
try.
explain it to her.
Aren't they?
You try,
Okay.
but I don't think she sees it that way. So she
Alright.
thinks that she spent all this time because she didn't want to become a section ranger to become a bounty hunter. And the only thing she wanted to do to make money for her family has been taken away from her. Like, she's not going to feel that she doesn't see that side yet. She might over time, but she doesn't see it yet. Just yet. So.
I will sit aside with you for a little bit and talk you through how you are contributing to our group in a manner that you are still getting money to our family, and that your role is still integral to this group.
Yeah, okay.
I just keep repeating that at you until you believe it, so, we're going to have this conversation a lot over the next several weeks.
Yeah, she's very kind of. Yeah, anyway, she's still got a satchel around her body still at the moment, so she's very kind about that at the moment. So.
Yeah, and B1 jumps in whenever possible and calls bullshit on that. And says that this whole family concept is absolute crap. The only family that really matters is the one that you have in front of you. And that this overarching order seems like absolute nonsense.
Whenever B1 interrupts, I just patiently stay quiet, let B1 say his piece, and then continue my conversation with Piper, or if she doesn't want to converse, I just sit in silence with her.
Okay, so as Kesley's had time to think about it, Kesley remembers that the time frame the orders were given was when Piper's grandmother was running the clan.
The same grandma who wrote the book?
The same grandmother who carried the book.
Right.
The book you don't know about. You have no idea about the book yet, so...
Yeah, we have no idea, like, what is a book? So, as far as Kayana can figure out is, these are orders that are coming from Piper's grandma, who even though her family is no longer in place, technically, like, she was a great, revered, wonderful leader, as far as Kayana's concerned.
And every time you heard her give an order, not one person in the clan ever refused her orders.
Exactly. So she knows that this is something that has to be followed no matter what.
It sucks, but yes.
she generally gave orders to be opened at specific times when people were born.
Okay. So yeah, there's a really good reason.
So she basically would the equivalent of say that 10 years from now, follow these.
Do all of us have this knowledge of Piper's grandmother as part of the clan?
You have heard of her being basically giving orders long before they were needed.
Yeah. And
people just getting orders in the
from
the clan in messages.
Well. Yeah. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it sucks, but that's what we got to do.
And most of the
time... Did I
time...
get the idea from Captain Dom that I could share that these orders came from Grandma Piper?
You think it's still something that Piper's not ready for?
Okay.
Because basically, if Piper knows it comes from her grandmother, she might be more accepting and deal with it better, but... again, won't be down in the dumps, and
she won't necessarily follow the same footsteps.
It wouldn't be following the order if I told her who gave the order.
Yeah.
Because her being down in the dumps might actually trigger her to do something that she wouldn't do if she was happy.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And or the other way.
Yeah.
There might be another drink in the transport. Or something like that. So yeah, that's alright.
20 days. Every 20 days, Piper.
Okay.
And this is something Kayana is going to be monitoring, that every 18 days or so she's going to subtly encourage drinking.
Subtly?
Subtly?
Yeah.
B1 knows that this is all voodoo, fleshy meat sack nonsense, that you're all full of absolute crap. And we'll find it every step of the way.
Just know more than everybody else.
I fully expect this from the B1337.
So from David's perspective, when you scan Piper, every time it starts getting close to the 20 days, you see that her DNA starts to change. And every time she takes alcohol, it will reset.
So
he is obviously going to very closely monitor it.
And basically, she starts to get sick closer to the 20-day mark. And every time she has alcohol, her illness goes away.
Yeah.
According to B130 sensors.
Yeah, according to your medical sensors.
Yeah, so also for the sake of science, it needs more data.
Yep.
Yeah.
I imagine it's a poking thing to you. Something you just poke and
No, I'm
poke.
not going to lie. He is actually experimenting on Piper now because he needs more information about it.
That's okay. So I'm going to have a droid tell me, don't drink, and then I have somebody else to tell me to drink, so it's going to be, oh, this will be fun.
And then eventually the droid will be telling you to drink.
Yeah.
And then the other, somebody else, yeah.
The droid tells you to drink, but the droid does slacken off the argument against drinking.
So
Okay, cool.
that's why I was giving David the information that would keep the droid from not fighting too much, but stopping the excess.
The conflict for the droid is very interesting.
So that would be a good point for us to stop for tonight if you're happy.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Martin.
And if you want to chat afterwards, that's up to you. I can be up for a little bit afterwards, but I will put it to end credits in case you'd like to do so.
I'll be signing off, so I will see you guys next week.
Okay, I'll see you next week.
Good night.
Alright, night.
Bye.